Guess what, Cole?
What's up?
It's Monday night!
Monday night! What does that mean, Ryan? Go.
It means we're recording again, and it means that Tuesday morning, the Week 5 edition of Beyond the Screen is released. For all
Welcome,
of you beautiful
friends.
people. Yes.
Welcome, beautiful people.
Hello.
To episode 5 of Beyond the Screen. Ryan, I have to say, I didn't expect we'd make it this far.
You know, here we are. Like, we talk about how this is going to go far, and we're shocked when we get to the next week.
Yeah,
So,
well,
you know, whatever happens at this point. I hope we get to a point to where we can stop counting, and we're just like, oh yeah, this is week whatever, and shocking how far we've gotten.
we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be doing that on like week 47, 48.
Yeah. Like, yo, we really
119.
48 weeks in? Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is gonna be like it's gonna be bigger than the Joe Rogan experience, man.
Eventually.
Yeah, the
You hear
Ryan
that,
Gum
Spotify?
experience.
Yes, the gum experience.
Oh, I like that. We'll call it chewing gum.
Chewing gum. There we go. See,
Yeah.
Spotify, you better be paying attention. Anyway, moving on. We'll go ahead and get started. We don't have a lot of news today, which I guess means more film discussion because we had a lot of film screened this week. We'll hop right into it. I'm sure anybody that knows anything about film knows who the box office winner this week was. But what shocks me is just by how much. Because it wasn't even close. Cole, can you tell us who won the box office?
Sonic 4.
Yes. That's it. Sonic 4. We skipped
Sonic
3.
4.
We skipped 3, and we went straight to
The-
4.
The Age of Eggman.
Yes. The return of Jim Carrey. No, it's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of
Doctor
Madness.
Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
My boy Sam Raimi gets his best opening ever. And listen, okay? When I say it won box office, it did there shouldn't have been another movie played. The second place film, The Bad Guys, does not go away. I don't know why it's doing so well, but it is doing.
Who's watching this movie?
I don't know.
Who's watching The Bad Guys?
This is its, I think, third straight week as a top 2 in the first week since it released that it wasn't number 1. So yeah, but it's fallen. So it's at second place. Well, I guess I should say Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange made over 187 million in its first 3 days of being available to the public.
And you know what? It's a Marvel movie, so what did we expect?
Right, but it's like we'll get to this, but I think it
What
was
if the
enjoyable.
bad guys beat it out? What if the bad guys
I would have cried, but just out of laughter. Like all that build
That
up
would be
just for the
hilarious.
bad guys to beat you.
Yeah, well, that of course did not happen, and
Oh.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness made hundreds of millions of dollars in its opening weekend.
Yeah, and its second place, the bad guys got 9 million.
Yeah, man.
And-
People like they were sitting there at the theater, like another one for Multiverse, really? Another one for Multiverse of Madness? Yeah, I'll take one more for Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
There's probably people that saw it 4 and 5 times. It was a great movie. man.
guaranteed. I think I saw somewhere it's like the 11th best like movie opening of all time.
Really?
Like something ridiculous. Like for Doctor Strange 2. Not that Doctor Strange doesn't deserve it. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I love Sam Raimi. All like great character. But Doctor Strange 2 is the 11th best opening of all time.
Well, Doctor Strange is at this point, he is what Tony Stark was.
Oh, I'll agree with that. And
Yeah, he's
Benedict-
like the dad.
I read somewhere that Benedict was saying he could play the role for 10 more years if they keep developing him.
I could see it. I mean, people will still go see Doctor Strange because he's a great character, and he's a character with a lot of personality.
Oh yeah.
And he's been in what, like 7 or 8 of the films now.
Oh, I think
Maybe not that many.
I think that was this one was either 6 or 7. I actually think you're not off that. You're not off that far.
Yeah, they have utilized this character a lot, and they're going to continue to do it.
As they should. I mean, it's a great character. So
Great
as
character.
I'm sitting in the theater, this leads into our next piece of news. I'm sitting in the theater and the previews come on. And one of the trailers was none other than the official teaser for Avatar: The Way of Water.
Oh,
Dude.
Avatar.
Have you seen the trailer?
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
I saw it in 3D, man.
Dude, I mean, we talked about how we were, I don't want to say skeptical, but what we didn't know what to expect with this movie.
Right.
The trailer looks gorgeous.
those are the creature designs, just the water in the movie. It makes me think it's like a Pepsi commercial. You know, you see like a Pepsi commercial,
Right.
and they've got like a big splash of water on the screen. There probably hasn't been a Pepsi commercial there since the Super Bowl that you've probably seen. But
you just sounded like the antithesis to Anakin. Instead of sand, just water. The water. Yeah.
It's wet. It gets everywhere. I love it.
Yeah. No, it was great. Like just the trailer. Like we talked about. Just that skepticism, not sure what to expect. If the movie is anything what the trailer showed, it will be a fantastic movie and it will absolutely rock the box office.
Wreck the box office. I mean, it made me want to both take a plunge into the beautiful water that is seen on the planet of Pandora and take a plunge into buying an early ticket for this film.
Oh yes, agreed. Like opening weekend. It comes out December 16th or 15th. It comes out mid-December.
What exactly created the hype for the first Avatar movie? Like, what caused it to make so much money?
I think it came out in 2009. So like back then, like full CGI stuff I think was still pretty new, and the fact that it was as well done in 3D as it was.
Yeah.
I think that those two, like the only thing I bring it up every week. The Transformers franchise, I think, is the only thing that you can compare to at the time that was so like a lot of CGI. But even still, that can't compare. You know.
Not at all.
Like
Yeah,
Star Wars is there, but Star Wars had come out a while ago, and even that, like what the most you got from CGI was a few shots of Coruscant.
we're forgetting the live action Scooby Doo films.
Oh yeah, that's the one that rivaled Avatar.
That dude, the first one came out in 2002, so like it was so much.
Yeah, it preceded by a lot.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what it was that it was so new for the time. Like all the CGI, all the 3D, and it was made by James Cameron. So
also, people, yeah, Titanic fame was still. I mean, the moms that love Titanic, they were
dragging their children to the theater.
You know, it also makes me think like IMAX was being just hyped up so much at the time. I think I might have mentioned this last pod.
I think so.
But I mean, IMAX theaters were popping up in like malls and like all these like urban centers, and people are like, "Oh, this is going to be the future of cinema." Avatar comes out, full 3D IMAX experience. I think they had some where they were like they had ushers like come and like squirt oranges on you during the middle of the movie, as to like, I don't know, give you some sense of like touch and
that's called
and
4D
smell.
experience.
Yeah, they had a 5D too. Like they actually had some of those blue guys show up at some of the theaters.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
from Pandora.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't. Listen, if I'm watching this movie in 3D and a blue guy touches me as I'm watching this, I'm flipping out. Like,
yeah, like bro, this is like 19D right now.
Yeah, please don't touch me. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I wasn't as much last week, but after seeing the trailer, my mind is kind of blown, and I'm watching it in 3D. I think this is a good point to leave it be, and we'll wait to see more news about this movie. So back to Marvel.
Well, wait, when's it come out? 2029?
What, Avatar?
Yeah.
Yeah, December 16th of 2040.
Okay.
But James Gunn announces that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has officially finished filming. To post-production.
Wow. It seems like it was only last week when I saw the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and I saw like a couple of the Iron Man movies, but I didn't really hop on the Marvel train until Guardians, right? I saw Guardians of the Galaxy and I was like, this is what I do now. Like, this is what I like.
Right.
And it seems like it was like a week ago when I saw it for the first time. And now the third one is about to come out.
Yeah.
Or it is finished production, at least.
I know the Guardians are one of those weird, like, the weird groups that, like, we've had now 3 movies of them. We're going to have, like, a holiday special. They've been in both, like, Endgame and Infinity War.
And they're going to be in Thor.
And in Thor, yeah. And I still feel like we've not seen, like, enough of them. Like, I still feel like there's something missing. And I know that we've still got a whole movie to come out. But it's going to be sad.
It seems like when is all said and done at the end of these movies, they take a note from the book of the Fast and Furious, and they say, what is the theme of this movie? Family.
Yeah. Oh, right. And so, yeah, I'm going to be sad to say goodbye to some of these characters.
Drax is definitely going to be gone.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a surprise to anyone. Batista's, he's had a lot of problems with Marvel, whatever. I don't really know exactly what the controversy was, but I know there was one. Something about like he tweeted something. I don't know. Zoe Saldana's character, however you say her last name, Gamora. I'm gonna be interested in seeing like it's Gamora, but it's also past Gamora.
Right.
It's Gamora from the past. So it's not like the Gamora that Quill fell in love with throughout the movies. So what's gonna happen? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting for sure.
And also, did she was it? There's also like theories as to what became of her at the end of Endgame because we didn't really see what happened. So, like to her specifically, Gamora, is she even still in the universe that Quill's in to find?
Right.
That's the question.
That is the question. We will see.
We
I'm
shall.
sure that question is going to be answered in Thor: Love and Thunder.
I guarantee it. Yeah, I would be
Yeah.
shocked if Takai doesn't. You have like the thought of Takai and James Gunn not like communicating with these story arcs is almost a crime. So
Well, these are just two of the most creative minds in the world.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Some of the most popular creatives.
they can't
Yeah,
have like thought this through.
and I don't think they've
Can't have
really
not thought
messed
this through.
up. Like
Yeah.
James Gunn and Waititi have not really like had a big miss, either one of them.
No.
So I listen, he makes me want to just go to New Zealand, really.
Yeah.
Waititi does. Like if you haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows, I will never I'll hype it up every episode of this podcast. What We Do in the Shadows is I would say top 5 comedy movies of all time. It's so funny. It's so funny. I've seen it like twice. Never gets old.
Yeah. No, I
Have you seen it?
no. No,
Wow,
we talked
dude.
about that before. I haven't.
Oh god, it's hilarious, man.
Yeah, no, that'll be another plug for that. So today's the day of plugs. I'm not going to get to my other plug until a little bit later because I want to get through some of the film stuff.
Well, I've got some anti-plugs because you'll be surprised at some of the thoughts I have
I
for
think those are
our
called unplugs.
unplugs. Yeah, it's like I don't know, I was gonna make a stupid joke. Yeah, I got some unplugs about some films here, but
Okay.
carry on with the film news, Ryan.
All right, yeah. So, have you ever heard of a director by the name of Gaspar Noé?
Not at all.
Okay, this man is. I've heard a few things about him, and he is a. I don't know if transcendence the word. He is like. I don't even know how to describe him. He's very well known for like diving deep into the human psyche, but in ways that you wouldn't expect. Like one of his movies, I can't.
These films look so compelling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I can't remember what the one movie that I'm thinking of was called, but there's one where it's like a guy's dead and he's like living through his life, but you're seeing it from like almost a first person perspective as his soul is like going through it. Like they're very interesting. I've not had the opportunity.
Oh, he directed Climax. Yeah, I've been wanting to see that. That's like the psychedelic horror film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like that really goes into like the idea of like if you have a bad trip, it is horrific.
Yes. So the other one I was thinking of was called Enter the Void. So it's a psychedelic tour of life after death is seen entirely from the point of view of Oscar, a young American drug dealer and addict living in Tokyo with his prostitute sister Linda. When Oscar is
Wow.
killed by the police during a bust gone bad, his spirit journeys from the past where he sees his parents before their deaths to the present where he witnesses his own autopsy and then the future where he looks out for his sister from beyond.
It's almost like that Ebenezer Scrooge type of movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But from what it was explained, it's very like psychedelic was the word that I was looking for. But the reason I bring Gaspar Noé up is because he has a new movie that was released in the States called Vortex.
Mm.
That is the news. I don't know what the movie's about. I have no idea. It looks like another Gaspar Noé film. It's got a 90% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and an 81% on Metacritic. The little snippet here on Google says the synopsis is a retired uh, psychiatrist with dementia and a struggling author with a heart condition live their final days together in an apartment.
Dang.
Yeah,
Dang.
it sounds like you said compelling. That's the word. It sounds very interesting.
Well, I say that by next episode, I say that we both watch a Gaspar Noé film.
I mean, we could do that, or we could save it for a whole month of Gaspar No.
Let's do that. Let's do or a week of
Or a
Gaspar
week.
Noé.
I mean, how
Yeah,
many films does this man have? He's got 4.
yeah.
That's enough for one a week if we wanted to do them. We'll discuss this. This is
Well, here next week we have 3 movies that we have never seen by David Fincher. So
yeah,
we're going to be watching a lot of films this week.
a lot of Fincher. It's finals week. I'm done after tomorrow, and I am so ready to just have time to watch
Yeah.
film. I'm so excited. The summer. Ah,
Oh, the summer. It's going to be like go, 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 go through the day. And then you sit down at the end of the day and you watch a movie with your friends.
I'm so excited.
You know what I like to do during the summer?
What do you like to do?
I like playing poker.
Poker? See, so many
Yeah.
of my friends play poker. I don't. I've played it once,
Really?
and I bluffed my way through because I didn't know what I was doing. Won, and then I never picked up the chips again.
Listen, I'll have to invite you when we do poker night. We used to do poker night like once a week, man. Me and my friends, but we haven't played poker in probably a year. So I'm ready to start gambling again.
Well,
Listen, it's been a real big weekend for me gambling. The Derby was on Saturday.
yes, it
To
was.
the listeners outside of Kentucky, I don't know how big of a deal the Derby is to you. It seems like it's like something you see on the screen, like, oh, the Derby happened yesterday. I don't care, whatever. I'm gonna go like feed my cat or whatever you do.
Right.
But for Kentuckians, like you're supposed to watch the Derby, right? You got to watch the Derby.
Yeah. No,
Did you see the Derby?
see, okay, so I didn't see it, but there's a reason for that. For those that don't know, I'm also a sports videographer for my university that I go to, and there was a baseball game on. But so I'm on a camera, and one of our directors is calling the race play by play as it's happening. So I technically did watch it. That's how big a deal it is in the state of Kentucky. Like, you can be working, and somebody is going to give you the play by play if you can't watch it. So to
Yeah.
give credence to what you said, it's a huge deal here.
Like if you're driving down the road, somebody will yell out their car on the highway
Right.
which horse won the Derby. Like you
Right.
will hear immediately.
Right.
And it was an upset win. It was one of the most historic wins in Derby history. One of the strangest stories. The horse entered on Friday
Yeah.
and won on Saturday. It had never won a race. It was bought for 30 grand, which is very low for a full bred thoroughbred horse,
Yeah.
you know, like a racehorse, or they go for hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars,
Yeah.
And immediately after winning, the horse tried to fight another horse.
Yeah. The horse's name is Rich Strike, and it was an 80-1 odds to win the prestigious Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, so if you put $2 on the horse, you got $160 back.
Right. Yeah. That's a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah, if you put $100 on this horse, like you made some money, man.
I think that's a good point to steer it back to cinema, because we could be a equine sports podcast, but we are not. That would be very popular in this state, but we're
I wish
not.
we were though.
Yeah. Other film news. So remember that, a couple weeks ago we talked about how Justin Lin ditched the Fast X project because of whatever reason. He didn't really say. We now know the reason. Reportedly, I should say. Apparently, Lin and producer actor Vin Diesel got into an argument stemming from differences over the script that led into Diesel blowing up on Lin, and that's why he left.
I would have stood my ground because I think Vin Diesel is all bark and no bite, baby.
I feel like that's what this was. I feel like that was him saying, if you're going to treat me like this, I'm going to leave. And Diesel, I mean, I don't know how important Justin Lin is to this franchise, because I'm not going to lie, I do not keep up with the Fast and Furious. I feel like we say that every week. But you know what I'm
This
saying.
is not a Fast and Furious podcast yet.
No.
We speak on it once a week.
No, we are slow and cuddly. We are not Fast and Furious whatsoever.
I mean, I'm furious about a few things.
And that's fair. I
got
appreciate.
hemorrhoids.
I appreciate you sitting through my really bad jokes. If you can sit through it at home, I appreciate you too. But
Mine
yeah,
are worse. So
yeah.
there's that.
So I do have I have 2 more things to film. Then I've got 2 TV news because I find them interesting. So the first of the last 2 film news, David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future dropped a trailer in which it looks like Cronenberg, who's well known for his body horror films, is returning back to that ground level that got him to where he is today. I didn't have the opportunity to see the trailer before recording, but from the stills I've seen, it looks really interesting. Like it looks like a fun watch.
You ever seen Crash?
Is that by David Cronenberg?
Yeah,
Let me look.
I've never seen it.
I gotta look at this. I don't think so.
If you read the description, it's about a bunch of really weird people, man.
Let's see, 1996. We talked about this before, I think.
I think we did, yeah. A bunch of people that are turned on in the sexual manner.
Oh yes. We have.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have.
They want to like have sex with not a car, but a car crash.
Yeah. Like the crash itself, the thing that gets people to slow down on the highway is what makes them like get aroused.
I might watch it tonight, honestly. Like I got a final on Wednesday, but like I can afford to watch a movie tonight. I think I'm gonna watch Crash.
Do it. And
I'll tell you guys how it is, but and you know what? It might awaken something in me. I might go out and if you hear that I wrecked my car this week, you know
it
that
was on purpose.
Something stuck.
Yeah. Other news. I don't crash your car. Other news. The first trailer, another trailer dropped. The first for the Al Yankovic story film starring Daniel Radcliffe drops. And did you see that? Did you see?
I didn't see the trailer, but I saw the grabs of it, man.
I got to see the trailer, and let me tell you, I don't know whether to find this hilarious or disturbing seeing Daniel Radcliffe with an afro.
He looks like Weird Al.
He does look like Weird Al. He doesn't sound like Weird Al is the problem. Is like it throws me off. Like in the trailer, he speaks and you can tell he's trying, and he's a great actor. This film's going to be good because of how well he's going to carry it. But like when the way he was speaking, I was like, man, or not the way he was speaking, the way he sounded compared to Weird Al, I was like, man, I don't know.
Can we sing a Weird Al song right now?
Which one?
Long, long time ago. In a galaxy far away, Naboo was under an attack. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but
thank you.
It's a yeah.
He's
also Let me hold up. Weird Al songs because I really like Weird Al. Right? I think while a lot of my peers were listening to like Chief Keef and stuff like in middle school, I was listening to like Weird Al. Trapped in the Drive-Thru, man. You remember that one?
No, I didn't really like. I appreciate Weird Al, but I was not a big Weird Al guy.
Yeah, I can't say that I was not a Weird Al fan because like I really like Weird Al.
The thing that stuck, he voice acted in a show created by the guys that created Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the main character in a show called Milo Murphys Law, and it was made in the same universe as Phineas and Ferb.
No.
Yeah, look it up.
What?
Yeah, he was the main character. He sang the intro and he voiced Murphy or Milo.
Oh my gosh, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, no, like the whole premise of it was because I remember this so vividly. The whole premise of it was that like Milo Murphy is the descendant of the guy that made up the concept of Murphy's Law, and the reason that the guy was able to come up with the concept was because everything. So Murphy's Law is if something bad can happen, it will happen.
Which is the biggest rule in the world of video production.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So if you are interested in video production or any sort of creativity in the side of film or sports productions, it's going to go wrong. Right. Just be ready for it. But yeah. So the whole premise of Milo Murphy's Law is that Milo is the descendant of the original Murphy that had the law cursed to him, and now he's living his life with all this bad luck, and he's being positive about it. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Doofenshmirtz makes multiple appearances.
Listen, man. Doof is probably one of my favorite characters in all of cinema, all of television.
I am constantly like, I'll walk throughout my house. I could be alone, and I will go, Patty? Like I do that so often.
Give me a sentence, and I'll say it in the Doof accent. Man.
I don't know.
Just pop off something.
Pop off something.
Ah! Pop off something! Ah! Bury the platypus!
He sounded. Why did you sound more like Wario or like Mario? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That went from Patty to wah. Like it went so off course. It was so. Oh man.
I like those the flashbacks to Dr. Doofenshmirtz childhood.
Oh yeah.
He's like, both of my parents were absent for my birth.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, Phineas and Ferb is probably the most goated cartoon, other than like SpongeBob from our childhood, I should say, not our children.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like SpongeBob #1, and then Fairly Odd Parents #2.
I was gonna say Fairly Odd Parents. We are connected at the brain.
We are. We're actually brothers. This
We
is the
are,
big
yeah.
reveal of this episode. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we same bloodline.
Do we have the same dad or same mom? I forgot.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Same uncle.
Yeah, okay.
So, but anyway, so I love how we get on like the movie for Weird Al Yankovic, and we just go completely off topic. I feel like Al Yankovic, that man would be proud of us.
Have you ever seen comedy Bang Bang?
Ooh, hold up. I know I have. I need to see a still of something. Because I feel like I know what this is, but you ask and maybe, I don't know.
Oh, it's a lot like the Eric Andre show. It was on IFC.
Okay, then yes. I didn't watch it like profusely, but I do know what this is because I thought I liked the Eric Andre show.
Yeah, they have like 3. I don't know how many they have. I think it's still going. But they had like 3 musical hosts. Like when I was watching it, they had Reggie Watts, who's really cool, Kid Cudi, who I love Kid Cudi.
Oh wow,
and Weird Al. Yeah. It was so strange. Like they have like Reggie Watts and Weird Al, who are like comedians, right? And then just straight up Kid Cudi was one of them. And Kid Cudi was on a whole season.
Wow, I could get behind some Kid Cudi.
You like Kid Cudi?
I do.
Yeah, me too.
Mr. Rager is a rager.
Yeah. I like rap music.
Yeah, see, I'm more of a rock guy, but I can get behind some rap.
What is your favorite rock band of all time?
Well, okay, so that's a multiple layered question. So I grew up. I'll put this in 3 facets, okay? I grew up listening to Skillet, so I love Skillet. Like they like their music is not for everybody, and sometimes they come out with songs that make me question.
I'm awake. I'm alive.
Bless you.
Now I know what I believe inside.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, no, like that was my jam, and that's one of my favorite songs. One of my favorites to listen to, and that doesn't constitute favorite band. They're just so unique. There's this band. They're an experimental rock group out of Sacramento, California, called Dance Gavin Dance.
Oh yeah, I've listened to them.
I love them. Love them so much.
I don't know like any of their music, but I've definitely I've listened to every like popular band. I'm a big music guy. Right. So like I don't know. I'll have to give them a listen. Surprisingly, man, my favorite band is Blink-182.
Have you told me that before? Because I think I
don't know.
I feel like we have. We talk about everything.
Yeah, man. I love me some good Blink. I'm a big Nirvana guy too. Like,
yeah,
I love Nirvana.
So I'm going to bring up a band that was heavily inspired by Nirvana and was around the same time, or was and still is around the same time as Blink-182. What about Weezer?
Weezer? Yeah, Weezer. Man, I love Weezer. I like some Weezer, man.
I can get behind some Weezer.
And listen, man, it's weird. I've had sex, man, before. It's surprising that all our viewers I've done that, and I still love Weezer. So they say a bunch. I don't know. It is a stupid joke.
Beverly Hills. That's where
I wanna be.
So
do you like the song "My Name Is Jonas"?
Yes, I do.
I love that song.
The Blue album was baller,
dude. Yes.
Okay,
I like Pinkerton too.
That Pinkerton is phenomenal, and I like some from Green. But we have to get back to the podcast that's at hand.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
You're good.
This is not the Weezer cast with Ryan and Cole.
Weezer cast, Ryan and Cole. Yeah. So the last 2 things aren't even filmed; they're TV, and we are actually going to have a show soon. My own brother's going to host that. Me and you are going to appear on that periodically. Called Beyond Entertainment. He talks about like TV shows and video games and pro wrestling, all things he loves. But we're going to talk about this here because there are some big things that have happened in the world of TV, and while I think that starts next week, but before it gets started, we need to report on it. Remember that new Percy Jackson show that's coming to Disney Plus that stars Walker Scobell?
Well, oh, dude, our king.
Our king, yeah. So Percy Jackson has his Annabeth and Grover in Leah Sava Jeffries and Arian Simhandri.
Okay, well, let's take a look. Arian? Aryan, really? Change your name, bro.
Aryan.
Aryan, that's offensive.
It's my name, but with an A. I'm Hadri.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well, let's see.
He was in the new Cheaper by the Dozen. He was in, I guess, the SpongeBob movie.
Let's see these kids.
Who's the other one?
Oh yeah, they look great.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah,
they look awesome.
They look like the way that it should have been done the first go around.
Should have been done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my speaking of Percy Jackson, I remember this from my childhood, and like I remember my brother had he had like a project where you're supposed to like write your favorite author, write to them, send them a letter, right? And he wrote to Rick Riordan.
Oh, really?
And Riordan wrote back, "I don't have time to respond to these." It's like, I don't have time to respond to all these emails.
That's so sad.
Yeah, like, screw you, old man.
I know, like, brother, like you don't have to respond. That's okay.
Yeah, don't send my brother some kind of snarky response. Like, it broke his heart back in the day.
Wow, Rick Riordan, we're not a fan, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what we're gonna do to him. If I ever see him, it's gonna be bad news.
Listen, Rick Riordan, we're not a fan of you on the pod.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bad day for young adult mythology novels when I catch up with Rick Riordan.
Okay, and now
they're not going to be coming out anymore, is what I'm trying to say.
The last thing on our list of news before we move on, because we watched a lot of movies. I plug it every week. This has been the thing I was going to plug before. I always plug Doctor Who. I think it's the best show of all time, and I'm not even going to lie. Yeah. The BBC, in current show, well, soon to be again showrunner Russell T Davies, announced the 14th Doctor.
Oh.
It is none other than Scuddy Gatois from Sex Education on Netflix.
Scuddy Patois?
It's not how you Gatois. It's not how you. It's either, I think it's Suddy actually. It's not how you would imagine it's pronounced, or I mean spelled. It's Ncuti is how you pronounce his first name.
Oh,
Gatois. Pretty sure.
Oh, he looks great.
Yeah, I know. He is a phenomenal actor. The night that he was announced, I'm pretty sure he won like 4 BAFTA awards, which is like, I know you know, but for those that don't know, is like the British version of the Oscars. This man is just raking in the gold medals for, acting performance after performance, and then this man is announced as probably one of the most profound characters in all of TV history.
Yeah, if you look him up on Google Images, is the first picture of him in like a vertically striped shirt?
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah.
Why does he look like Hannibal Buress in that? He
does look like Hannibal Buress in that picture specifically.
But in no other pictures. I think he looks like who's the guy that plays Benjamin Button's dad, Marshala Ali.
Oh yeah. He might look a little bit like Marshala Ali.
I really like Marshala Ali.
Oh yeah, but dude, to tell you that I'm hyped for this man, I'm pretty sure it's Suddy Gatois, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. The hype I have for this man to be the Doctor is beyond comprehension. I'm going to be so sad when Jodie Whittaker leaves the role, because I feel like the writing screwed her out of good storylines. But her take on the character is so nice, and it's going to be very upsetting to see her go. But the hype I have for this 14th Doctor.
Listen, I'm all about representation too. Like, I really like when they add someone who's like a minority to a role that was originally like a white man, you know? Yeah. Because I just think like, they're like white guys have been the stars of every movie and every TV show for all of history, right? Until now. So I'm just glad that like there's going to be some kid who like loves Doctor Who, some little British kid. And you can be like, yeah, I'm glad that the Doctor looks like me.
Oh yeah. Another thing too to be happy about when we're going down this alley, Mr. Gatois is also gay. So yeah. So we're hitting on
maybe
all buttons. Maybe
you'll have a chance with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, man. If the Doctor shows up and this man walks out, like any day.
Yeah, he cute. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gay,
he's a
but
fabulous
he's a good looking
man.
guy. Yeah,
he's a fabulous.
Yeah.
Man.
He's a cute dude. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, but and on in a serious note, it's great that we finally have this representation in a way that you just said, right? Like it's been the rehash of the same kind of looking guy from the 1960s. And
Right.
not in every there's not been one bad casting for this character. There's
Mm-mm.
just not been. Like if you've watched it, like there's not one person that's taken the role that has done bad. In fact, my favorite Doctor is probably one of the most I don't want to say hated, but like it's Peter Capaldi. And when they got to Peter Capaldi is when they moved away from like the new Who that started in 2005. They had all these young actors that everyone was attracted to, and then they go to Peter Capaldi, who's older, a lot like the older show back from the 60s to the 80s, and people
Oh
hated
wow.
it. They
Peter Capaldi.
they trashed on it. They I mean like people hated it. And
Oh, he played that dude from Suicide
yes,
Squad.
he
That
did.
big
Yeah, yeah. He
brain
was
guy.
Brainiac or no, the Thinker.
Dr.
Sorry,
Brain
the
Man.
Thinker. The Thinker. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I love the Thinker.
No, the Thinker. Listen, the Thinker is the Doctor.
Awesome.
That's what I'm saying. But like Capaldi gets the role, and people trash on it because he's older, and then Stephen Moffat, the writer, some of the writing is kind of wonky. It's not nearly as bad as what it got to with the guy that is about to leave, Chris Chibnall. Chris Chibnall is a great writer. He's just not a good Doctor Who writer. But the point I'm trying to say here before we move on, because like I said, we have so much to talk about with movies, and we're at 36 minutes.
Jeez, Pete.
Yeah, but like the writer Russell T Davies that's coming in, the showrunner, he was the guy that brought the show back in 2005. When the show was at
Okay.
its peak from 2005 to 2009, and it stayed at a peak level of some sorts through 2013 through the 11th Doctor. But when it was at its major peak, when it hit worldwide phenomenon, was when this guy, Russell T Davies, was writing for it. And now he's back. He's got a guy that he likes playing the role. And I am so excited for this.
Well, good. I hope you enjoy it.
Dude,
Maybe I'll watch it.
listen, if you're going to watch it, you have to watch at least the new Who. You've got 13 seasons to go through, my friend.
Well, I've got time. Summer's upon us.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby. No more school. For
No more
3
school.
months, no school.
And we get a new Whovian. Let's go. I am such a
And
nerd.
yeah, I'm gonna get. Listen, this summer is gonna be great for me, man. Like, I'm gonna get some tattoos. I'm gonna hang out
Ooh.
at the lake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a nice tan. Going out west, I'm gonna see the Grand Canyon.
Ooh,
I'm taking 2 weeks and I'm driving out there.
bro.
Me and my girlfriend. Yeah.
That's awesome.
For my girlfriend's dad, if you were listening to this, you did not hear that because he doesn't know.
Oh,
Yeah, but we're just gonna go out there and she's gonna say, "Listen, man, we're out west. Like, what are you gonna do?"
right, right. For anyone listening that's out west, shoot us places that he should go investigate.
Yeah.
Go check out.
Maybe I'll see some places they filmed a movie or two.
Do it.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I
No.
will.
I'll
look that up out there.
I will be here in my room recording this while you're gone, slinging coffee at my job, doing what I do.
You know, speaking of coffee, I'm gonna take a nice sip of this brew I got.
Take a good sip of that, Joe. And this is where we will end the first segment. We will be back with. Wait, are we going straight to Strange, or are we going into Fincher?
I thought we were doing film opinions.
Film opinions. Okay, film opinions is next.
Film opinions.
Cole, I got to 5.
He got to 5.
I got to
folks.
5.
He
Okay,
has 5 opinions about film.
ladies and gentlemen, I not gonna lie, I had like 3 of them in my head all week, forgot to write them down, and so between segments, I got them here. Listen, this right here, this is the equivalent to how I'm getting through college right now. Is I forget, and then I BS, and somehow I come out with what I need.
Yeah. I can't talk about that because a couple of my professors actually listen to this podcast, so I'm not going to incriminate myself.
I haven't had the one that I know. Hello, Dr. Fitch. The one that I know that listens. He my friend. I haven't had his class in a long time, so I didn't do that for your class actually. And on that note, we'll get to the first of our opinions. I already said my first one, and I'm gonna jump this to you after this. I said it in the last segment, and I know it's not so much film, but I feel like it's close enough. Doctor Who is the best TV show of all time, and I'm not gonna go back on my rant. All I'm gonna say is the longevity of it, what it was made for originally, and the way it was repurposed. It was made originally for like an educational and historical like learning tool, for kids, and then it's got that same effect of like Star Wars and Star Trek, to where like it gets this itch that sci-fi lovers have. Um, and so yeah, I love it, and I think it's the best TV show of all time. And now I'll throw it to you, Cole.
Okay. First film opinion. We're gonna say V for Vendetta. V for Vendetta.
Yes.
One of the most overrated movies I've ever
Brother,
seen.
no.
Yes, it's a weird movie. I didn't like it at all.
Oh man, have you ever read the comic book?
No.
Gosh, I'm a nerd. This episode is exposing my nerd.
I ain't never read that, bro.
I have, and it was good.
Okay, well, the movie is so pretentious. It reminds me of the guys that wore like trench coats in my high school and talked about like Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. Like, it thinks it's so smart, but really, it's like I don't even know if I could do an impression of the guy, the V or whatever his name is. He like pops up and he's like, well, fine. So, I can't even do it, but like, it's not for me. It makes me cringe. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's about the tackling of a fascist government.
Yeah, but it's the British government.
It's after a war, it's the police state, whatever. It doesn't matter. The man is fighting for freedom. The comic book is so much more like introspective than the movie ever was. The comic is very good.
Yeah, the movie's pretentious.
I liked it. I'll disagree with you on that one, but you know what? It's a good opinion.
Okay. And you know what? I don't see a lot of people voicing that opinion. People love the movie, and like I just didn't understand it. I was like, this is just not. It's not for me. This is for guys that live on Cheetos and ramen. Like I eat spinach, bro. I eat grilled chicken. Like, this is not me. I eat bananas every day.
Like flex here.
Yeah, massive flex. Like, get your diet game up, kids. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Next opinion.
All right. This one, I know this is going to be kind of ironic for the film that we screened, the new film that we screened. I think we need a break from superhero movies. I really do. I know that I'm not the only one on that thought. But I think it's something that needs to be said. I love superhero movies, don't get me wrong, but when we're going on, what is this now, year 14, 15 of of the MCU, and it's just like
I'm getting exhausted.
That's what I'm saying. Like recently, like I feel like it can have a few more years now, a few more projects, just because Moon Knight and Doctor Strange were so out of the box for what they usually do. But if they get back into their usual just kind of copy and paste of like films that they were doing from the past 5 years, it needs to stop.
It's got to stop. They like, and you know what? I haven't seen all of Moon Knight. I've got to catch up on it. I've seen a few episodes. It's so good. Like I'm shaking my head right now. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Oscar Isaac, I've said on the podcast, he's the sci-fi actor of our generation. He's amazing. He's the Harrison Ford of our generation. Like the man. Yeah, he's awesome. Multiverse of Madness. I love how they said, okay, well, all these cookie cutter MCU plots, like we're not gonna follow that. We're gonna follow a horror movie plot. Like plot structure, right? It's Wanda chasing the characters around the multiverse, and they cannot escape her. They go to different realities, bro, and they still can't chase her.
Oh yeah. No, it's.
Or they still can't get away from her.
We will go in like depth about this coming up. But yeah, I completely agree. Your second opinion, my friend.
Okay, let's pull out my handy dandy notes app. Another overrated film, American History X.
I don't know if I've
ever seen it. It's Ed Norton playing a neo-Nazi.
American History. I want to check this out. Yeah, Derek, who has served 3 years in prison for a hate crime, tries to change the thoughts of his brother Danny, who is following the same path. Yeah,
it just seemed kind of like a Dare commercial, or like something that they were gonna like I don't know, like they watched. There's just too much of a moral, honestly, and like it wasn't really. I watched it a long time ago. I'm trying to think of why it's so overrated. I didn't like it. That's main reason. Reason number two, it's touted as some like insanely gritty, just violent movie, and like not really that much like crazy stuff happens. They curb stomp like one or two guys, and like you don't even see like teeth flying everywhere.
Right.
It's I don't know. It's kind of a cheese fest. Not gonna lie. So much like the end is like just don't fall into peer pressure, kids. And it's like, man, like I was trying to watch something dark and gritty. It's like, well, his younger brother does end up getting killed.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, there's definitely like, Ed Norton like made this kid a Nazi, and then that's like his.
The image of Edward Norton, like with his hands out. I guess he's being arrested with like the swastika on his chest. I have seen that before.
Yeah, it's okay. It's overrated though. ASF. It's not that good.
Okay, well that's good to know. So cross that one off the list.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into like, it just seemed like something like one of those videos they showed us in school about like not getting in somebody's car
Right.
who claims that your mom is in the hospital.
Quick sidebar here. Do kids know about Dare? Is that still a thing?
It was a big failure.
Was it really? See, I feel like that's not shocking.
Yeah. Do you know who Duncan Trussell is?
No.
He's a comedian.
Okay.
He had a bit about like Dare and all these drug programs. He said he was like at his school, and they were like, if you do drugs like LSD, you will see a dragon. And he was like, well, hell, I want to see a dragon.
Right.
Like
yeah.
they made kids just want to do drugs even more.
Yeah. I feel like that's also the side effect of don't do this to a child.
Yeah.
Like how about like just not yelling, like bring a cop in and have him not yell don't do drugs, because I promise you every child in there is wanting to do drugs.
Hello.
Did you leave?
Yeah, I left for a second. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I think that's a great point to come back and to our takes, the third take. Cole, you're not gonna like this one.
That's fun.
Personally, I find thrillers to be more enjoyable than horror movies.
Okay. That's all right. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So what we're gonna do to test this? I'm in Google right now, right? So I'm just gonna search up popular horror films, and then popular psychological thrillers, and then I'm gonna see which ones I like better. Okay.
Okay. Let me know.
Popular thriller films. Okay. So let's see. See the first ones that pop up. Gone Girl, Knives Out, Joker, Parasite, Tenet. Yeah, those are some good movies, man. Hate to say it, those are some good movies.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, popular horror movies. Oh no. A Quiet Place, Us, Midsommar, Get Out, Hereditary. Yeah, bro, I disagree.
No,
I
great horror movies
movie.
nonetheless. Like those are
Yeah.
great. I'm just looking at this and I'm looking at the psychological thriller because I looked up popular psychological thrillers and I'm seeing like noir and sci-fi and like even romantic psychological thrillers. Well, we talked about one last week with Gone Girl, and it's I don't know. There's something about the thriller that I talked about getting that itch. That's what this does.
What would you say your favorite psychological thriller is?
Ooh, that is a good question. So, okay. I do have a question for you, actually.
And what is that?
Because I saw this, because it's on here. I looked it up. And it has Lighthouse as a thriller, more so than a horror.
I don't really think it's that much of a horror film.
See, that's what I was about to say. Like, how would you rank that movie? Because if that one, I know this is very recency biased, but I would say Lighthouse is probably one of my favorites as of recent in terms of psychological thrillers.
Sure. Donnie Darko is on here as a psychological
yeah, it's
thriller.
right by Lighthouse. That was another one I was looking at.
Yeah, listen, I'm a big Darko fan. I love Donnie Darko. Ooh, what is that movie that I saw? Ooh, what's that movie I saw just a little while ago? Oh
Ooh,
gosh,
Black Swan.
it's
I forgot about Black Swan.
never seen it. My roommate watched that last night.
It
Actually, he
is
said
a
to watch it.
good film.
Yeah,
Sorry.
people really like
Keep
that one.
keep doing what you were saying.
What's the movie where, dang, it's a bunch of people and they're invited to this like house in Beverly Hills. Like it's this beautiful, luxurious mansion. And then they realize that there's the same party going on down the street with the exact same people. Like there's a copy of all of them that are
Hmm.
throwing the same party. What's that
Hmm.
movie called? I watched it like
I don't
probably
know.
probably watched it 3 or 4 months ago, and it had me shook, son. Like
That
that was a good
sounds
one.
interesting.
It was interesting. Uh, and I don't know if I've expressed this a lot on the podcast, but when it comes down to psychological thrillers, the best movie of all time is a psychological thriller, and that is none other than Bong Joon-ho's Parasite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like if there's one iota of someone crapping on that movie on this podcast, I will be very angry. Or just in life in general. Like, dude, Parasite is, I was awakened when I saw that movie. And honestly, after I saw that, I became much more of a film buff. Like, it really influenced me.
Oh yeah. No, Parasite is definitely going to be touted as one of the best movies of our generation.
Oh, yeah.
Without a
But you know
doubt.
what? I was going to say that I've never been moved by like a horror movie, like I've been moved by things like Silence of the Lambs or Parasite or Shutter Island or Seven,
Shutter Island was good. Evan.
Memento, like all these super pop, Killing of the Sacred Deer, Dogtooth, The
Right.
Lobster, like all these wonderful movies. But then I think of like The Shining, or I think of like The Exorcist, or I think of Midsommar, and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my horror camp. Like I just, I'm just a horror fan through and through.
Oh yeah, and hey, and there is nothing wrong with that. I find more enjoyment out of good psychological thriller than I do a good horror.
Well, this leads us into my next opinion. You want to hear it?
Yes.
The Babadook is over freaking rated.
Now, that's one I've actually I don't know if I've seen that.
Really? You've
I
never seen
know
The
I know
Babadook?
it's immensely popular.
Oh, it's one of the most popular horror films out there. It's got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it should.
Yeah.
um, and it it accomplishes what it sets out to accomplish, for sure. In creating like, and you know, it comes straight from German expressionism. It's German expressionism done for the modern audience, right?
Interesting. I can get behind some German expressionism.
Oh yeah, it's expressionist for sure. But like the Babadook, it's not. It creates this massive, unsettling atmosphere, this toxic, and just it's like it takes you and just rips your arms and legs off through the entire film, and you're a and that it does that in the beginning, right? And then you're a legless, armless nub
Hmm.
seeing the events unfold on the screen. But you know what? The ending just leaves a lot to be wanted, and you don't really see the Babadook. You see him like twice, and he's like a shadow. Once he's like a shadow across the street, and it's like, man, I wanted to see the Babadook like walk out and go like, "Yeah!" Like bare his claws and just eat somebody, and he never really does. He's I don't know. He's not in the movie enough. Like
Interesting.
I'm trying to see him, you know? Like,
Yeah. No, I see there's something to be said about the unseen villain though. Like that's getting a lot of psychological stuff in here.
well, yeah, but think about Jaws, right? Created
Yes.
the unseen villain. I don't think
Oh,
it created. I'm sure Hitchcock created it, but it sort of mastered the unseen villain. But at least you see the shark at the end.
yeah, you do. It
You know
did
what I'm
end up
saying?
doing its thing.
Yeah, you see the shark a lot at the end. You're supposed to not see it throughout the movie, and then at the end, you see it a lot, and it's really scary because you've sat here and wanted to see it the whole movie. But the Babadook doesn't really do that.
Interesting.
And it's like, I was waiting to see this guy. You've been hyping him up for the whole movie, how scary he is and how he's turning you guys crazy. At least put him on the screen.
I'm gonna give that one a watch if I can find it, and I
Oh, it's
will
terrifying.
I will let you know. Like, hopefully by next week I can have it watched, and that can be something that
I
I give a little feedback on how I felt about it too.
I went to high school with this dude, and he was like real sheltered, right? Lived in a real like kind of fundamentalist home, right? Like his parents were real like they wouldn't really let him watch like movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at a sleepover in high school. It's probably senior in high school. Man's probably 17 or 18. And little did I know he had never seen a horror movie, never seen one in his
Oh
life.
no!
So I'm like, yeah, guys, let's watch the Babadook. Let's turn him on.
Right.
And he cried. His first horror movie. He cried his eyes out.
Oh man.
Scared the poop out of him, man.
Yeah, that's sad. I feel bad for this guy.
Oh, it's okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean it's not his fault he was raised the way he was, but like it's still
No,
sad.
it's sad that he didn't grow up watching like such great cinema.
What I'm saying.
Like I'm talking like this dude. They had him watching like Veggie Tales, bro.
Right. So you talk
Like
about
nothing wrong with the vegetables.
no, no, the Christ-loving vegetables.
Nothing wrong with them. That
No.
that's my fifth opinion. Nothing wrong with the veggies, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's so. You talked about good cinema, and that's actually my fourth. They leads into my fourth one because it's very broad and I can steer us back. Um, this one I have some opinions about, obviously, and I'm curious as to what you think of it because we've talked about this franchise and how you enjoy it. Um, I'm pretty sure that was you. Um, Daniel Craig's James Bond, his version
Oh
of
yeah.
James Bond, the way it was written, the way it was delivered, as compared to the ones before that, saved that franchise.
Oh, for sure, man. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because like, if you look at some of the old Bond movies, like they're good. Like I like them, right? And I've seen a lot of them, but they're
Right.
not dark.
They're
They're
kind of
not
stupid,
gritty.
man. Some of them are just
They're
dumb.
they're cheesy. Yeah, you ever seen GoldenEye? GoldenEye is said to be like one of the best Bond movies ever, right? That's Pierce Brosnan, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's one of the cheesiest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I like the Sean Connery Bond movies though a lot.
Oh yeah. No,
I don't really mess with most of them in between Connery and Craig, right?
right.
But if you've ever seen like say Dr. No or Goldfinger or there's several more, man. I mean, they're great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm the biggest James Bond fan. Like I love see Daniel Craig's one of my favorite actors. I loved the Craig Bond movies, but all I'm gonna say is that those movies before it, while like Pierce Brosnan was good, and like hold on, now I gotta look up. I gotta look up because I can't think of the names other than Pierce Brosnan because brain.
Roger Moore. Let
Yes,
me
there we go. Roger
think.
Moore. Obviously, you talk about Sean Connery. It's just like I feel like leading into the 2000s, people were growing bored. I really
Yeah,
feel like that. I feel
there
like
was one. What was him? George Lazenberg or something. He was only in one of them.
okay.
George Lazenby, License to Kill. Is that him or is that?
Yeah, no, I don't. Is it on Her Majesty's Secret Service? No, wait.
No, I think that one's
What is that?
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy
He is
Dalton was.
License to Kill.
Yeah, he's another good one. I like Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, he's all right, but I'm gonna say Roger Moore is the third best. Best is Sean Connery, and then Daniel Craig
I think that's fair.
is second.
That is fair. No, there's obviously a lot of good ones like Craig, Brosnan, Connery, Moore, and Dalton. We're all like none of them were bad per se. Just
Oh
the
no.
movies that they were in were boring. They were cheesy. Like they were super stereotypical. Then Craig gets the role, and those writers working on all of them were phenomenal.
Oh man, the writing is so good. Like, have you ever seen Casino Royale? Like, the dialogue is just
Oh my
so good.
gosh,
It's such a violent movie
Casino
too.
Royale is it. Ah man, I'm trying. I used to have them ranked.
Yeah, let's rank them right quick while we're here.
All right, hold on. Give me 1 sec. I will let you. Ah, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. I will tell you because I loved. Okay, Casino Royale I think is number one, and I think that there's no question.
Well, I'm gonna contest that.
Okay, you're going with Skyfall, aren't you?
Oh, of course.
I love Skyfall. I just think Casino Royale was the perfect like set piece for the rest of this franchise.
Man, I love Mads Mikkelsen in that.
Dude, Mads
As
Mikkelsen was so
as
good.
Le Chiffre.
So good. Yeah. So yours is Skyfall, mine's Casino Royale. I
I
think
actually they're playing Baccarat in Casino Royale, and I play Baccarat from time to time.
Oh
Play it on
yeah?
my phone. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like Baccarat.
Yeah. I love the adaptation of Casino Royale because if you ever look at the book and just you even reading the preface of the book, it's so much different. For obvious reason, like back then they were worried about communism in Russia.
Yeah. Well, the opening. See, I'm walking over here to my library that is in my apartment. I think I actually have Casino Royale on my shelf somewhere.
yeah.
Um, I remember they use a very provocative word in the first few pages of Casino Royale to describe men who are both of black and Asian descent.
Oh boy.
And yeah, oh yeah, and I can just remember thinking like, man, this is a book from another time.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So I think moving on to our second, I'm going to assume that yours second is Casino Royale and mine is Skyfall.
Sure.
Okay, so that's fair. So we just have opposite ones and two. Third I think is No Time to Die, the
Sure.
newest one.
That's good.
That it's so good. Oh, it's so
It's
good.
awesome.
Such
Yeah,
a great film.
They delayed it for like 2 years.
I know, but it's so good.
It's awesome.
It's the perfect ending to that. And so I think we're gonna differ here again because I actually think Quantum of Solace was better than Spectre, but not by much. I'll tell you.
I don't even remember who the villain of Quantum. I know it's just like an extension of Casino Royale.
Yeah, no, it's literally part two. Like that's the problem with
Yeah.
Quantum of Solace is that it's literally like it's not essentially the second movie. It's just part two of Casino Royale, and then Spectre is a complete or not Spectre. Skyfall is a complete new story.
Right.
But here's the thing: what I love most about Quantum of Solace, the way that the story is told, I think reflects James Bond's mental state so well. Because think about it, the whole film, he's angry, he's upset, and that was a big thing that people felt that was the issue with it was that it was too claustrophobic at times. The editing was super like splotchy, and it was cutting all over the place.
It
But
really is, isn't it?
It is.
For Quantum of Solace.
But
It's so fast and
yes,
choppy.
but think about it. I feel like that was a purposeful decision to represent the thought process and the anger that this character is feeling.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really remember the movie. I had the video game, for the Xbox
Oh
360.
my gosh, the Quantum of Solace, the video game.
Yeah, it was a first-person shooter, and they had like an online too. Like you could play Xbox Live and play like Team Deathmatch,
Wow.
but it was also like Quantum of Solace Team Deathmatch.
Yeah.
Actually, I played it a lot back in the day. I really liked that game. Like I played it. I'm thinking I probably put like 40 or 50 hours into that game.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I guarantee it was fun. James Bond video games are just fun. They need to bring them back.
Oh yeah, man, they do. I'm ready to see like a No Time to Die first-person shooter. That'd be great.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, and then listen, I really like Christoph Waltz as the villain of Spectre. I don't hate Spectre. People don't like that movie,
I see
but
that.
like,
I put it last. I didn't dislike. I didn't hate it.
no, I like it, man. I saw it in the theater. I loved it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I-
I just think Quantum of Solace was better, but not by much. Like I said, I don't think any of those movies are bad.
No, they're not bad at all. They're really good, actually.
All five. I mean, yeah, all five.
Got Naomi Harris in it.
Yeah.
Well, she's Moneypenny in like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Q is great in those movies.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wait, yeah. I need to rewatch those movies. I need to just do like a Bond marathon all summer and just like because I love them so much, but I haven't seen enough of them, and I haven't seen enough of them
Yeah.
recently. You know,
Oh yeah.
I saw Casino Royale just maybe like 6 months ago or something.
Casino Royale, like I said, I think it's the best of the five just because it's such a great like set piece for the rest of the franchise.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. So what is your fourth opinion, my friend? I don't mean to cut you off there.
This one might be just a little bit like, blah.
Oh no.
I'm gonna retcon something I said
Okay.
last podcast. I said Uncut Gems is the best Sandler movie.
Okay.
It's not. That title belongs to Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love. Okay.
You seen it?
I'm pulling it up. Punch, because I don't remember. Ooh, I don't think so. I mean, it's got Philip Seymour Hoffman in it.
Oh, I saw The Master with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix
Oh
just maybe a couple weeks ago. Have you ever seen that?
no.
Oh, it's great. It's awesome. It's about like kind of like a cult leader.
Yeah.
He's not really a cult leader. He's more of just like yeah, he's a cult leader. And it's Philip Seymour Hoffman, and he's all full of crap. And it's Joaquin Phoenix kind of like breaking down and demystifying his image.
Ooh.
It's an interesting movie. It really is. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. No, I'm another one on the list.
Oh, put it on, man. You'd really like it.
Yeah.
Anything with Hoffman in it. I didn't like Synecdoche, New York. I didn't understand it because I'm not an old man.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry about that, guys. A lot of people will just like want to just marry that movie or something, or they like I've heard a couple people they'll like be getting married and then they have just like Synecdoche, New York. They just have the dialogue playing in the background while the woman walks down the aisle. They like it that much.
Really?
No, but people like it.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
looking at
Punch
this.
Drunk Love. It's good.
Yeah, I'm looking at Punch Drunk Love, and it's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
What did he direct?
Oh, he everything. So he did Licorice Pizza was his most recent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's done The Master, which that's what you were just talking about.
That's what I was talking
yeah,
about. There
yeah.
We Blood. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Paul Thomas Anderson has done so much. Which
He directed Boogie Nights.
yeah.
Oh yeah, well, Punch Drunk Love, man, like it is an awkward movie, and you will feel so much secondhand embarrassment and anxiety and secondhand rage through that movie. Just rage.
Yeah.
But it really it encapsulates what it's like to be an awkward man. And I'm working my way out of my awkwardness, but I've been an awkward man on and off. I've kind of been a freelance awkward man for my whole life. So
Freelance awkward man.
yeah.
I love that
So
description.
yeah, I have been. I have my times still. Sometimes like if I have to like talk to someone like at the gym, like somebody walks up to me and they're like, "Hey man, like can I work in your set?" I'll be like, but that yeah, buddy. Sure, man. And I'm like, I feel like Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love.
Dude, I feel that on a deep level. Like that, yeah. I'm going. That's another one. I'm throwing it on the list.
Do it. It's not a fun movie. It's not fun.
Listen,
But
is it
it's
like Office type of cringe or worse?
way worse? Oh
Okay.
yeah, way worse.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's cringe, man. Like extreme cringe.
Okay, I'm actually kind of hyped because I find cringe hilarious.
It's not a funny movie. It's a comedy movie. That's not a comedy movie.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is, but it's definitely wonderful. It's a romance movie as well. It's a beautiful romance.
Okay, yeah, I'm hyped. So, my fifth take, my friend. I don't ask me to rank them because I'm not gonna be able to. I just can't. I grew up loving Robin Williams, as any child
Okay.
does, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a very personal and biased take on the Robin Williams fandom.
Sure.
I think Hook is a top 3 Robin Williams movie.
Okay. Yeah. I watched it in middle school.
I really
good.
do.
I loved it. Don't ask me what happens. Like, but I remember sitting in my 6th grade math teacher's class, and her name was also Mrs. Ballinger. My name's not Mrs. Ballinger. My name is Mr. Ballinger.
Right.
She was married to my dad's first cousin, And I don't know what that has to do with anything. Shout out Miss Ballinger if you're out there, but we watched that movie in there. It was good.
Oh yeah, I think it's a phenomenal film. People have hated on it and they trashed it, and I don't hate anybody, but I'm very agitated that that film did very badly.
I like Dead Poet Society.
Dead Poet Society is great. No, like he's in a lot of movies. I mean, Good Will Hunting's phenomenal.
Never seen it.
You got to see Good Will Hunting.
Is it one of those I have to see? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, see, Patch Adams is okay. There's another one called Jack. That's okay. Obviously Flubber.
You know, I've not really seen a lot of these movies, man.
Oh, he's
Like,
great.
I didn't really grow up with him.
Yeah, dude, he was one of my all-time favorites. In fact, he was my favorite actor when I was like a young kid.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I loved him so much. And yeah, his passing. I was in the 8th grade when he passed. I remember it so vividly. It was very sad. Sad day in the Gum household when Robin Williams passed away.
Uh, yeah. Very sad. Suicide is not a joke, people.
No,
For real.
it's not.
Like,
Go,
don't joke about it.
go get help. Very sad. But yeah, so to get back to the point, Hook is rated 29%, sorry, on Rotten Tomatoes, and I despise everything about it.
Ooh. Well, I thought it was like a beloved movie by all.
By those who watched it in their youth.
Oh, and then you watch it again, and you're like, it's like Shark Tale. You loved it when you were a kid. You watch it again, and you're like, what is this?
I still love it, okay? Like, I'm not going to give up on it.
Okay, well, good for you, but I have.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, can I give my final opinion,
Yes.
sir? Okay, I've got my top 3 actors right here.
Ooh, okay.
Top 3 actors of all time.
Of all time. Not just in the world
Yep.
today, of all time.
No. You know who they are?
Who?
Number 1, Robert De Niro.
Oh, wow.
I think he's the best actor of all time. I really do. Number 2 is going to be Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
and number 3 is Leo.
Your second view, I am heavily behind. I am not a Robert De Niro hater. All I'm saying is that he's played the exact same character every single movie.
No.
He's one of those. I am the Irish mob guy. I am the guy from, or not Irish, sorry. Well, yeah, kind of Irish. I am the Italian. That's the word I'm looking for.
No, he's just Irish. He doesn't play Italian.
Okay, good. Just Irish then, because I was looking through here and I was like, there's got to be some Italian in here. Straight up, just Irish everything. Literally in The Irishman. But yeah, Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, The Godfather 1 and 2, The Irishman, as I said.
Cape Fear. You ever seen Cape Fear?
Raging Bull. Raging Bull's great.
Oh, it's awesome.
Which one is that? Cape Fear.
It's a Scorsese movie, man, and it's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. It's about like this guy who he's like a lawyer, and he puts this guy in prison wrongfully, right? He puts De Niro in prison wrongfully.
Okay.
So De Niro sits in jail for like 20 years, and he hates his lawyer.
Ooh.
And he like reads up on all this theory, and he like works out, and his big goal at the end, he gets out and he says, I'm gonna ruin this guy's life. And truly, he just tries to have sex with his daughter, and
wow.
Yeah, his underage daughter, and he like kidnaps the family. He puts them on a houseboat. It's so strange, man.
Interesting.
It's a mess of a movie. Like it's not a masterclass in Scorsese's, or from Scorsese's part, definitely not. But it's one of the most interesting movies I've ever seen, and uncomfortable movies.
Very interesting. That
I would I recommend it? No, but I liked it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking through his other movies too, and this man either works with Joe Pesci, Al Pacino, or both, and that's it.
Dude, him and Joe Pesci, like I imagine they all 3 of them actually, they sleep in the same bed like the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, no, they do. I love
they have
I love
one
Joe
bed.
Pesci. I love Al Pacino, and I love Robert De Niro. The only thing I'm going to disagree, because I think it's a very valid point. Robert De Niro, he's a masterclass of an actor, and I'm not going to hate on him. I'm just going to lightly disagree with him being the best, because I've told you before, I feel like to be in this consideration, you have to have variation.
Okay.
And I just don't think he's got enough of it. I look at all these characters and I feel like while yes he's a great actor, I feel like he's great at playing himself in certain positions. And
You know, I think you're right. I don't think he's the best actor of all time. I think he's one of my favorites. I think he might be my favorite actor, but I don't think he is. I think that goes to Nicholson. Jack Nicholson, best actor of all time. Can't beat him. He's the best.
see, I completely agree with that. If that's what you like, you could go with De Niro. I don't mean to change your mind.
Well, you convinced me. That's why people talk.
I appreciate. Like I very happy that like we were able to just talk.
Yeah, Robert De Niro, if you're hearing this podcast, you suck.
No.
You're one of the worst actors of all time. You should quit your job.
Yeah, get out of here. It don't
Get
matter.
out of here.
It don't matter how old you are.
Yeah. What are you saying? You haven't seen The Godfather?
Yeah.
We're gonna go watch The Godfather.
Yeah. No.
Wait. Yeah. No. De Niro plays Italians because he plays an Italian in Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, but you feel what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. He plays. Have you ever seen The Irishman?
Yeah.
I love it.
Great film.
3 hours 29 minutes, man.
Great film.
Can't beat it. Oh,
Should have
it's
won.
awesome.
Should have won an Oscar, but it didn't.
Oh sure. Yeah. It. What's the guy's name? Who they kill?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
Oh, he's the one that's supposedly buried under the stage.
Oh, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa, yeah.
Yeah.
Hoffa. Yeah. Jimmy Hoffa, that's great.
No, it's a phenomenal film.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think. Sorry, what?
That sounds like it's the end. But anyway, we can agree that Leonardo DiCaprio he's just something else, man. He's better than.
Oh yeah, no, he's one of those that he's got. I call it rubber face. Just morphs into whatever you need him to be.
Who's better, Brad Pitt or Leo?
Oh, it's Leo. I love Brad Pitt. Yeah. Like we're going to talk a little bit about Brad Pitt today. He's not better than Leo.
Not at all. He's close.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a great actor.
Yeah, but like, man, think about these Leo movies: Titanic, Wolf of Wall Street, The Revenant, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Don't Look Up, Inception, The Great Gatsby, Shutter Island, Catch Me If You Can, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Django Unchained, The Departed, Avengers Endgame.
Okay, yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, he's not in that.
You know what though? Everyone you've said, even Endgame, that's not one bad movie.
No.
Nope, not one bad role, not one bad movie.
No, not at all. Titanic. I don't think I mentioned. I think that's the first one I said. But Titanic's a very sexy movie.
Oh, sleek.
It's a very hot movie. You know what I'm saying?
Very
sleek. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like it's just very like, and I love the aesthetic. I love that sort of like turn of the century, sort of type stuff going on. Like I wish I could wear a cape. I suppose I can, but
yeah, I'm already saying you could wrap a bedsheet around you.
Or you go to like Halloween City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually think I have a cape somewhere, and like a Halloween costume box at my parents' house. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm pretty sure
I
have one.
Yeah, it's like a time capsule because you open that up and you're like, okay, here are Halloween costumes from like 2006.
Right. All right, man. We just crossed 40 minutes on this segment, so I think it's the perfect time to move on to our movies.
Our films.
All right, it's time for Fincher. So here's the thing. I have seen Fight Club, but it's been forever. So I want the Fight Club just in the know of everything about this movie, man. To discuss this film, starting with its premise.
Okay, so in the film Fight Club, you start with a guy, and he's played by Edward Norton, and he's the main character. He's the protagonist, and his job is to rate cars after there's an accident taking place to see if they can skate by and not have to call a recall on the car, right? or they say, okay, too many people have died in these accidents. Uh, we have to perform a recall, right? So the whole point of his job is that like there are going to be people die by his ratings and his analyses of each car. People that he doesn't know, and he finds his job to be extremely boring. And as an extension, he finds his life to be extremely boring because he's found this movie came out in 1999 that he has fallen victim to the American consumer complex, right? He is obsessed with IKEA furniture and furnishing his apartment with crap he doesn't need. He is he is bogged down by all these people, just worrying about, everything is bite sized. He goes on planes all the time for his job, and he says, "Oh, it's a microwaved uh, chicken cordon bleu, and it's a single serving soap, and it's a single serving everything." And you meet a person on the plane, and they're your secret serving or your single serving friend, right? So he doesn't find any substance in his life. He thinks he's just going through the motions, and he is, right. He lives this boring cubicle life, right? And then he meets Brad Pitt's character, Tyler Durden. And Tyler Durden is the exact antithesis to this, right? He lives in a dilapidated home in the industrial district, Paper Street, exactly. He makes soap from body fat that he steals from a liposuction clinic. He he drinks beer and just does whatever he wants. He's not controlled by women. He's not controlled by consumerism. He again is the exact antithesis to the narrator. So what they do is they start hanging out, right? Um, Tyler, or the Edward Norton's character still has his job, but he's living in this rundown, dilapidated home with Tyler Durden, and they start fighting people, right? Like that's their big thing now. Is they say, okay, well, listen, we think that life is so just easy to swallow, and everything is already decided for us. Let's just go completely against that and start a fight club in the basement of a bar. So that's what they start doing. And everybody knows there are some rules to Fight Club, and the main rule of Fight Club, number one, is you don't talk about Fight Club. But obviously, more and more people show up to the Fight Club every week, and that really goes to show that the rules are meant to be broken. That is a big theme in the movie. Rules are meant to be broken. So the Fight Club goes on and on and on, and it grows bigger and bigger, and there are more fight clubs popping up everywhere. And during this, simultaneously, the main character meets a girl named Marla Singer, who's played by Helena Bonham Carter. And she is just like Tyler Durden. She lives in a dilapidated tenement building, and she does drugs. And there's so much that I'm not mentioning here, but I'm just trying to give you a condensed version. So the Fight Club uh, grows and grows and grows, and you eventually realize that the narrator is in too deep. He is so far past shoulder depth, as they say, and a bunch of stuff happens, and it ends up that the Fight Club is now turned into a cult, right? And this all is happening through Tyler Durden, Brad Pitt's character. Tyler Durden sets all these things up, and he's really growing the Fight Club, and it becomes a massive cult called Project Mayhem, right? And they live in the dilapidated home on Paper Street, and it really is just a cult. It's an anarchist cult, and it's all about mayhem, right? So they blow up buildings and do all these crazy things just to inspire mayhem and chaos, because that's the ontology that they subscribe to. That's how they see the world. They're men. They don't want to be ruled by women, and they don't want to be ruled by culture. They don't want to be ruled by money. They just want to be able to do what they want. And they're anarchists, so that's what they do. The cult grows and grows and grows, and it gets super crazy. And then we realize that Tyler Durden never existed. Brad Pitt's character never existed. And it was all the narrator, Edward Norton's character, with a personality disorder. And he was the one that set up this cult. He was the one that did all these crazy and outlandish acts of mayhem and terrorized people through the city. And there's a resolution after this, but that's basically what happens in the movie.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic film.
I hope I didn't get too like, I hope I didn't ramble and ramble there. But
No, that was fantastic. That was amazing. I mean,
I'm leaving a lot out.
no, I know. And it sucks because we've only got so much time. The show's already long. If we could keep going for 4 hours, but I don't think people would listen for 4 hours. Um, but yeah, no, it's a fantastic film. I mean, in typical David Fincher just fashion, just the shots throughout this film are beautiful. Um, it's
Well, it's a movie about men,
right,
but it's a movie about men if there was not the balance that you
right,
have to have in life with women, right? On a mass scale. I'm not generalizing anything about gender or sex or anything like that, but the point of the movie is that if you don't have that balance of masculine and feminine, then the world is going to explode, literally.
hmm
Um, you can't leave men alone without a little bit of feminine influence because things will reduce themselves to chaos very soon.
right. And so with that, with all these messages, what would you rate it?
Oh, it's a 10, man. Like it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's excellent. Um, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous, man. Like you talk about a beautiful movie, beautiful dialogue, beautiful character interactions, beautiful sets. It's so gritty. People don't, and you know what? It's a violent movie, right? But no one actually really dies in the movie. There's one character that dies of cancer, right?
Right.
Well, no, he gets stabbed. Never mind. That is Robert Paulson, played by Meatloaf, surprisingly,
Hmm.
who does a wonderful job playing Robert Paulson, Bob. Uh, Meatloaf is a great actor. I love Meatloaf. Pretty sure he died like this year. Rest in peace to my man Meatloaf.
Yeah, that's sad.
Um, you know Meatloaf?
Yeah, the name. Hold on, another look up. I know faces. What else was he in?
Rocky Horror Picture Show is the only thing I know him from.
Then maybe. Oh, I
Tenacious
looked.
D,
I looked up Meatloaf, and you can only imagine what came up.
a bunch of Meatloaf.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen this man.
Oh, he's wonderful.
He's in a
Um,
lot of stuff.
yeah, he's more renowned for being a musician than he is a
Yes.
an actor. He made one of the best rock albums of the late 70s, early 80s called Bat Out of Hell, and I listen to it all the time. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fight Club, it's one of those movies that people really get wrong, right? They think that they watch Fight Club and they're like, yeah, men are better than women. Men do awesome shit, and women don't do anything but paint their nails. It's not. It's a critique of men. Like it is a movie about like, yeah, if you let your masculine urges, uh, and your testosterone talk all the time, then like it's just not going to be good for any party.
So it's in the same vein as American Psycho that we were talking about last week.
Exactly. Yeah, it's almost dude. American Psycho and Fight Club go hand in hand. They are sister films because they're a
Right.
lot like each other. Um, and there's such a big theme, a big trope. I see it in so many films. I see it in so many movies about someone breaking bad. Right.
Right.
Breaking Bad is literally about it. It's like a boring character who lives a boring life as a male, embraces their testosterone and completely says, screw life, screw the bureaucracy, screw culture. I'm just going to live how I want. Another one that comes to mind is American Beauty, that very much like Fight Club, very much like American Psycho. Um, Usually, if you have a film or a TV show like Breaking Bad that touts this narrative of, yeah, this character finds freedom in living a violent lifestyle, it's usually satirical and it's usually a critique of that lifestyle that they have found.
Oh yeah, right. And I think that is an imperfect encapsulation of this, mainly because, like we've described, we're on a time crunch here. And I'm sorry, Cole. I could keep listening to you go all day. I love hearing this, but we got to move on to our next film in Fincher. Are you ready? Cole, tell our people what it is.
The Social Network.
The Social Network.
The Social Network, which I have to say, I think is the best David Fincher film.
You know, I'm actually gonna match you on this. We talked a few weeks ago about how it's gonna be hard to top Zodiac or Seven or even Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. All three of those films are fantastic.
Right.
But The Social Network, with its host, amazing host, of just think about this film: Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Justin Timberlake, Brenda Song, Dakota Johnson, Rooney Mara,
Armie Hammer, Rooney Mara.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you talk about a great cast.
Just and like perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything lines up to where it's supposed to be. And we were talking about this before the show. I hate Mark Zuckerberg.
I don't think it's even bad to say that I want to kill him. I think you can say that now. Because if they're a billionaire, you're allowed to say it.
Maybe.
Yeah. What are they gonna do?
Yeah, but like I don't know. It's just like.
I mean, I don't want to kill him. I'd rather like put him in jail.
See, the whole point of the movie was that I was wondering when Eisenberg, because it's Hollywood. I was wondering when Eisenberg was gonna or I should say Zuckerberg was gonna have his redemption arc, and Eduardo was gonna do something to deserve whatever he got, but it never came.
It's based on real life, and if you want to win, there's gonna be a lot of losers, and that's pretty much every film or just a real life circumstance where somebody makes $1 billion. There's gonna be a massive blood trail, and there are gonna be a lot of people left in the dirt.
But sorry, go ahead.
I think that's what this movie is about, is that it doesn't matter, and the paradigm between Zuckerberg and the Winklevoss twins, the Winklevi, as he's so humorously.
That was so funny. It was so quick.
It was so funny, yeah. Yeah, the Winklevi.
Yeah.
These guys, they have everything going for them. They really did come up in a way with the idea of Facebook, and they're multi-millionaires going into Harvard. They're 6'5". They're beautiful men. But you know what? Sometimes things don't work out. And that's what that's actually a line in the film. The Winklevoss twins just don't understand that not everything is going to work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the theme of the movie. Like, it doesn't matter how well you do. Sometimes there's just going to be a little shit that comes along and wins.
Yeah. And that's the thing is if it was just Zuckerberg versus the Winklevoss, obviously Zuckerberg would be the biggest hero in this movie.
Right. But then you have Eduardo Saverin.
Yeah. It's the fact that he, not only do we see this coming, right? He's asking for more and more money, and he's always kind of he's so derogatory and condescending to Eduardo.
He is. He's condescending to everyone.
Yes.
Right?
But specifically Eduardo.
Yeah, but he sees Eduardo as so much of a lesser than him.
Well, I would say he's even. I feel like Mark saw Eduardo as everything he wanted to be. Because he got in.
Go on with that.
He got into what was the club that he got into?
Whatever it's called, like the frat.
The porcelain or whatever.
Something like that.
Because at the very beginning of the movie, Zuckerberg, when he's talking to Rooney Mara's character, Erica Albright, he is obsessing over getting into the final club or whatever it's called. And
that's what they're called, the finals club.
Yes, and
see, I've got a lot to say about this scene.
Oh, it's a perfect filler, introductory scene, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it. But it's just everything. Eduardo was intelligent. He's handsome. Obviously his best friend, but he gets into the one thing he's obsessing over. And I feel like Zuckerberg, the whole movie, was jealous of him, and he was taking advantage of him, obviously. But I feel like
he used him, played him like a fiddle. Oh gosh, yeah.
The whole point of think about it. This man convinced Eduardo to pay for his condo in California so he could be with his replacement.
Yeah, he did. While Eduardo was really toiling in New York, actually working every day to find advertisers for Facebook.
Yeah.
But he didn't realize Eduardo Saverin didn't realize that Facebook was going to be something so much different than finding advertisers and billboards. Like you're not going to get people to join your social media network through them seeing it on the side of a subway.
Right.
Like that's not how it is. And Eduardo Zuckerberg didn't really explain that to him because he wanted Eduardo out of the picture. So what's his name?
Sean
Timberlake's
Parker.
character, Sean Parker, could be his partner, right? He wanted him out of the way.
Oh yeah. No, that whole thing was planned. Like the second that he started getting along buddy with Parker, you could just see the dominoes kind of start to fall.
He's like, yeah, I don't need Saverin anymore because
Yeah.
I now have Sean Parker.
Think
Because
of-
he looked up, Sean Parker is the only character in the film that Zuckerberg looks up to.
Oh yeah, and think about it too. Zuckerberg makes this huge deal about getting Saverin's signature after they've secured the deal, and the
Right,
first thing he
exactly.
does is liquidate his assets.
First thing he does.
Yeah, no, it's
He's just
heartbreaking.
apathetic.
Oh yeah,
Apathy. The best, in a movie, to my aspiring film nerds, if something is said, if there's like a short monologue at the beginning or end of the film, that is usually the theme of the movie, right?
factual.
Part of the theme, right? Or it adds to the theme of the movie. So at the end, when Mark and his then girlfriend Erica, played by Rooney Mara, are speaking at the bar or the establishment that they're in, they have a long argument, and Mark is more worried about like getting into the finals club than anything. And she says at the very end, she says, "Listen, you're going to be listen, you're going to be successful and rich, but sorry, I'm going to start all over." She did not deliver these lines in the way that I'm trying to deliver them now. She says, "Listen, you're going to be successful and rich, but you're going to go through life thinking that girls don't like you because you're a tech geek. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that that won't be true. It'll be because you're an asshole." And he is. He's an asshole.
Oh yeah. No,
And
like
Zuckerberg he's just the worst. Like and we forget this is a real guy and all these things really happened.
yeah. No, it's I've yet to find a movie, and there are a few that are kind of similar in this regard, but to this extent, I've yet to find a movie to where I've walked out of it hating the protagonist of the movie as much as I hated this one.
He's just the worst. Like I have a lot to say about The Social Network, but the real theme of the movie is that just Mark Zuckerberg just destroyed these people's aspirations and just went through life pillaging and plundering these people's intellectual property not for a monetary gain, because you could tell, I mean, it's said in the film outright that he doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about the fame. He just wants Facebook. Like he just wants to change the world, and he doesn't stop at anything. He's a robber baron.
Right. Well, I wouldn't say he wants fame. He wants Erica.
Sure.
That's like the one thing he wanted from the beginning through the end. I mean, like Rooney Mara is quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses. Like she
What else is she in?
so talented. Well, obviously the girl with the dragon tattoo. She was in
Of
Her.
course.
She was in I haven't seen Nightmare Alley, but apparently she's in that. Let me look here. There's a few. A Ghost Story was the one.
Oh yeah, Ghost Story. Do you like that movie?
Yes, I do.
I do too.
I find that movie it's just pleasing to me. I don't. It's like it's satisfying to watch. Of course, it was distributed by A24, but
I love the monologue at the party in that scene. It's the only
Yeah.
monologue in the film. It's wonderful. It really is. It's a touching movie. And it's well, we're talking about The Social Network and not A Ghost Story. So
yeah,
we
but
digress.
I mean, it's just a side mark. I said I love Rooney Mara as an actress. I always forget she's married to Joaquin Phoenix.
She's married to Joaquin Phoenix.
That's who she's married to.
What?
I know. I always forget it.
We might have mentioned this on the podcast last week.
Maybe, but like regardless, I don't like. You could told me that an hour ago, and I still would have forgotten it. It's just like it's one of the most random things.
I didn't think Joaquin Phoenix could have a wife. Like he just doesn't seem like he seemed like he'd be married to like a body pillow or something.
I mean, I wouldn't say a body pillow, but like he definitely like when I see he has one, I mean, it is kind of jarring.
Or like you're like, oh, do you have a wife, Joaquin? He's like, yeah, I'm actually married to the St. Louis Arch. Just I fell in love with her.
No, I know what you mean. Like I completely understand, but no, he's married to a very skilled actress.
And a very just a monumentally beautiful woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very power couple. That's what that is.
Um Also, Ewan McGregor is married to the girl that plays the Manic Pixie Dream girl in Scott Pilgrim. What's her name?
What? Hold up.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor is married to Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, good for him. Like he saw that movie and he's like, I do like that.
No,
Yeah,
no, this is a very new thing. Man, he was with his first wife for a while.
man, I never thought that I'd be like interested in celebrity couples, but like
Here we
I
are.
don't know. Hey, here we are. Life changes, man. Like
Yeah.
one of these days, I'm gonna be on Amazon looking up duvet covers.
Yeah. No, you will.
Like we're growing up, man. Like
Here-
I'm interested more in like a fine salsa than I am like getting blackout drunk. So
Yeah. Hey, that's maturity.
right, yeah. Like I'm in it for that sauce now.
Yeah. So I
Those
think
condiments.
it's the good sauce.
Yeah.
It's now to oh, by the, I just noticed this. McGregor is an OBE and an officer of the British Empire. Like it's like a few levels down from like a sir from like the queen herself.
Real.
Yeah. You've got like it's like sir, EBE, and OBE, and I think EBE is like executive.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I did not know that Matthew Broderick is married to Sarah Jessica Parker.
Say that one more time. What?
Matthew Broderick is married to Sarah Jessica Parker.
That is.
I mean, I have some stipulations about both people because Matthew Broderick killed a guy with his car back in the day, and he was messed up, like he was drunk. And Sarah Jessica Parker looks like a horse, so not a fan
Wow.
of either.
Didn't know any of that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's wild.
you can't tell me that she doesn't look like she's about to run in the Kentucky Derby.
Now, let me go back to her. I will hold my thoughts. And now comes Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button.
I liked it. We talked about before the show. It's the poor man's Forrest Gump.
You know it uh the same exact thing that like Benjamin Button's life was based on actually happened to my friend Eric one time. Like he was born as an old man and
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
wild.
he's a baby now.
Well, I feel bad for him.
You know, honestly, like this is the only movie in this genre. Oh, also, really weird. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote the short story, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote what? No, wow.
Yeah,
Today's
man.
just a day of revelation. I did not know
It
that.
really is. Yeah, I didn't know that either until about 5 seconds ago. So
F. Scott
very interesting.
Fitzgerald wrote that.
Yeah,
My
he
God.
wrote Gatsby.
Great
Man.
Gatsby, yeah.
He might, yeah, he might have wrote some other stuff. I mean, he could have
Guaranteed.
wrote, he could have written, uh, Gone Girl. Who knows?
I don't think so. I think that the screenwriter for that was the author, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, Gillian Flynn. It wasn't.
Yes.
F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote Star Wars: Attack of the Clones.
Say again?
F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote Star Wars: Attack of the Clones.
Are you
You
serious?
know? Yeah,
Wow.
he did.
I mean, great for him. I would not have thought that.
No, he didn't write that. He was dead long before.
I'm about to say,
production
are you
started.
sure?
Oh yeah, man. He wrote way back in the day. Yeah, I'm just capping, man.
Okay, I'm about to say, whoa, like what's happening here? It's too late for
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I'm getting real slap happy here. Something that I've thought about like I thought about this while watching the movies. Like, this is the only instance of this like weird like the like aging backwards movie. Like I would have figured that a lot of people would be making these aging backwards movies. Like it would be like top genres, sci-fi, horror, comedy, romance, aging backwards. Like it would be like sixth or seventh on the list, but apparently not.
Yeah, no, it definitely creates a sense of like it's not just drama, but it's just like melancholy. Like
It is, isn't it?
it's so like cuz like I mean, it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. Brad Pitt does a
It's a
very good job.
sad movie.
But yeah, like the reason we call it a poor man's Forrest Gump is cuz the whole film is told the story starts with Daisy. She's dying and her daughter is reading from a diary that she brought with her into the emergency room. And this is all happening during Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. So the whole story is from Benjamin Button's diary, and you're seeing the visuals of the daughter of Caroline was her name of Caroline reading to her mom, and the whole story is like him being born, like what like they said he had like cataracts and he like advanced arthritis and had like he was like a 90-year-old man but as a baby and he survived and he grows to be old and but as he's growing up I think he was like 6 when he first no a little bit older than that when he first met Daisy because Daisy's grandmother was at the same I don't want to call it a retirement home was it a retirement home
Old folks home.
yeah um yeah Benjamin Button grew up in an old folks home very
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 fitting.
very fitting for him yeah so but one of the other old folks granddaughter is the same age, quote unquote, as him. Technically, they are, but he's old and she's not, and she somehow knows that. And so, the rest of the story is Benjamin Button kind of living this very precarious, very adventurous life as this old man growing young. And the B plot of that turns into the A plot is his romance with Daisy.
Right. And like I didn't think she was a very compelling character.
No,
No,
I mean,
not
Kate
at
Blanchett
all.
does great. Like I don't want to like discredit her role as an actress. She did phenomenal. I think it's more of a writing thing.
I think it is. Her lines just didn't like every line that Brad Pitt's character Benjamin Button would say it was all so provocative and his lines were all so good and they would make you think and it was like he would give all his lines and they would kind of have like a double entendre sort of effect because you say
Right.
the characters don't know that he is growing old or that he's growing young so like when he is having his like little affair with Tilda Swinton's character Elizabeth I believe her name is in Russia she says uh you know uh they're whatever like or like there's a lot to know about uh messing around with a married woman and he says well I wouldn't possibly know anything about a married woman
Yeah.
and she thinks oh well look that's such a good flirt like that's such a good like little line to drop but he really doesn't because he's like 20 years old.
Right. Yeah. Like he looks like he's in his mid 60s, but he might be 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets really like emotional near the end because so long story short, like and a part of the problem with Daisy too is that she as she's dying says I loved him from the start and he loved me, but then like that does the story kind of tells how she kind of played with him.
Yeah, she doesn't really mess with him throughout the entire movie. Like
No.
she liked him when she was a kid,
Yeah.
but then he goes to like fall in love with her when she's like a dancer and she just blows him off.
Yeah, well, at first she tried to have a fling with him, and he declined her because he's like, I want more than that, and she exactly that. She like flew him off after that, and she's all like dying in the hospital in the future. She's like, I loved him, and then it's just like you are not showing that.
Yeah, you didn't love him.
Yeah.
Also another thing, I hate to cut you off from that, but another thing that I thought, and me and my girlfriend watched it together, and when Captain Mike, who is actually a great character, I really liked
Oh, I
Captain Mike.
loved Captain Mike.
Yeah, he was like the standout character in the film. Um, when he takes him to a brothel for the first time, like,
That was
like Benjamin Button's like 13, he's like 12,
yeah. He's a young kid.
like a kid. Yeah,
Yeah, like I think at that point he might have been a little bit older than 13, but he was not 18.
no, not at all. But I mean, he enjoyed himself for sure.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he had a
So
great
much
time.
so that
kept
he
on.
asked the woman he was with if she was going to be there the next night.
Yeah, like he was all about it. Which I don't know, like if you took me to a brothel when I was like 13, 14 and I was I had an old man body, like who knows whether I would have liked it or not. I've never been in that position. I'll have to ask my buddy Eric.
Yeah, I mean Ben sure liked it, and
Oh, he liked it.
that's all that matters. But yeah, so near the end, or well, I guess a little bit past the midway point, Ben and Daisy finally get together. They finally start falling in love, and Daisy's all like, "Hey, I'm happy that I got with you when I was older and not younger." And at this point, they're both closer to 40, and
They
so
look like a proper couple.
yeah, yeah. And so like, there's this big point to where, uh, Daisy is like, "Yo, we're actually the same age now. Like this was this many years ago, and like while you're aging backwards and I forwards, we're now the same age." And they make this big point of it, which was a very beautiful moment. Then Daisy unveils the fact that she's pregnant, and that was a long-winded way of the mom in the future, Daisy, the Daisy in the future, dying in the deathbed to tell her daughter that her father is not the father that she was, raised from. It's actually this guy that wrote the diary. um,
Yeah.
which we'll get to the why that is the way it is later. But yeah, so the daughter reading to the mom, the daughter Caroline reading to Daisy, doesn't know that her dad is Ben,
Right, right.
and
She
so
realizes that
yeah,
at the very end.
like she asks and Daisy confirms, and it's real sad because like as like you go through the whole their life together, and they're living a Brad Pitt's character and Kate Blanchett's character Benjamin and Daisy, they're living a great life. The baby's born, but Ben, even before the birth, is like, how are you going to do this? Is like, I'm still gonna grow younger. Like, how's this gonna work? You're gonna end up raising us both. And Daisy's like, I want you, I want you. Like, it doesn't
She's like,
matter.
yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
He says, would you love me when I wet the bed and have acne on my face?
yeah,
And she's like, listen, I will love you till the end.
yeah. And so, what ended up becoming of this, and we skipped a major point with Benjamin Button's father and all that, but that doesn't really matter. It's, I mean, the only
They don't
point,
really have that much of a influence on the story.
the only point that the story of that story that it made was that he sold his father's company to give money to
Oh,
Caroline, and he left before she could remember him, so that it wouldn't hurt her when he couldn't, you know. So yeah, he leaves the family. He sells all of his assets, like his business, his father's business, I should say. His like he had a boat, and he sold it all, and he gave it into Daisy to give to Caroline in a savings account, and he left because he wanted Daisy to find a proper father for her. And dude, it was a sad moment, but I feel like that speaks volumes to just Benjamin Button as a character.
he's such a good guy.
Yeah,
Like he's such a caring man.
yeah, and
He
it's
doesn't want to. He doesn't want to hurt the people that he loves.
no, and it's so sad.
It is. It is so sad. And like melancholy is a great word for it. Like it's beautiful. It really is. But I often find with these movies that kind of like span a whole person's life and it's all like beautiful and sappy. Like I just think like, yeah, it's not really for me. This is not the type of cinema that I just like crave and love. Like I don't really know about it.
Right. It the best way I can describe it, and we're gonna get into rankings and then move on to multiverse. It's it is Forrest Gump but with a sad ending.
Yeah. It reminds me of a movie that like your aunt would really like.
Yeah. Like it's a
Like
good movie.
yeah, you watch it with your kids and your kids like don't really care and you're getting a divorce. It's just like I don't know. I don't really have much to say about this one. Um I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It's definitely a really well done movie. Like I'm
Right.
not saying yeah. It like it might be in terms of like sheer accomplishment in terms of filmmaking, it might be Fincher's best just because of the epic qualities of the film. Like it
Oh yeah.
won Best Picture
Oh yeah.
at
No,
the Academy. No, it was nominated.
it was a nominee. Yeah. It here's the thing. It accomplishes everything it set out to do. I mean, it's like almost 3 hours long. It's a long movie. It tells a story with a message. It's got actors that play great. It keeps you invested throughout the entirety of it. It doesn't really get boring. Um, yeah, it's a good movie. Like it's
It's
just
funny at times. It really
yeah,
is
no,
funny.
there's goofy moments.
Oh yeah, slapstick almost.
Yeah. But
He
yeah.
fights in World War II.
Oh my gosh, the World War II
I really
scenes were the
liked that
best.
scene. I loved those scenes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think now it's time to give the ratings. So we already gave a 10 out of 10 on Fight Club. What about Social Network?
I just can't not give it a 10 out of 10.
I
That's the
agree.
thing. Yeah, they're both 10s. Like these are some of the most popular, famous, and most well received films ever.
Our boy David has our first two 10 out of 10s.
Yeah, like he's doing well. These are the good ones.
Yeah.
Benjamin Button, I'm gonna say Benjamin Button is like a solid 8.
See, I was gonna go 6, so seven's a solid number.
It's a 7, sure.
Yeah.
It didn't Benjamin Button, like it says so much, but it also just like it kind of doesn't really say much.
Very say it doesn't. It says a lot, but then it doesn't say anything.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So we both kind of agreed with that. I'm glad that you kind of thought that too while watching it. I was thinking like, yeah, like the theme of the movie is that like life, you're supposed to lose the people you love throughout
Yeah.
life because that's when you realize that you really cared about them. But it seemed like Benjamin Button didn't really lose a lot of people he cared about.
Yeah, or it just didn't affect him.
Yeah, like he didn't seem like he wasn't in despair when his mother died or his father died or his adopted parents. You know, he's just like, okay, time to go to the tugboat.
Exactly. Like he wasn't phased by it, and like you can make the argument that that was just because he was raised in an old people home, and he talks about death being a visitor constantly.
Yeah,
But I would have liked to have seen him struggle a little bit more. Like I don't want to see him in pain per se, but I would like to have seen him try to overcome.
he was real witty, but he wasn't really human. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like it seems like well because of his his qualities that are so different than most of people. It really separates him from other people. He seems like there's such a divide between him and everyone else because he shares this quality in himself of aging backwards with absolutely no one.
Right.
So he doesn't really there's no juxtaposition.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have a foil, as they say.
I completely agree. I think it's about time to move on to Doctor Strange because that I'm so excited for this conversation.
Yeah, well, I'm much more excited to talk about Strange
Yeah.
because I listen, I, go ahead with what you thought about it.
I was just gonna. So I was just gonna finish up with Button.
Oh.
And then we'll move on to Strange here in just a second. But like Button, I think the most touching part was when he was worried about his daughter coming out like he did.
Okay, yeah.
That's all I was gonna say. Like that was a scene that that probably impacted me the most. But other than that, it was just like meh.
Yeah, I didn't really care about it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Is I just we're two dudes and like we're in college, we're in our early 20s. This is not the movie for us.
Facts.
I would much rather watch Fight Club.
Facts.
Like I said, this is a movie for like eating ice cream and crying over. And like I'm just not at that point in my life. Like maybe one day I'll get like some kind of disease or something and I'll have a lot of time to sit around and be sad. But
Exactly.
now's not the time. I'm in the prime of my life.
No, I completely agree. All right. And now we'll be moving on to Doctor Strange. And we've made it this will be our longest episode by far. We just had so much to talk about. But we finally made it to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I don't even want to call them winners. I want to call them box office kings. The weekend warriors. Like, man. What else is there to say about Doctor Strange? It was such a good movie. Well,
it was a great movie.
Yeah. I'll say it was great. It's not the best Marvel movie. I don't know how to explain it.
It was so much different than every Marvel movie that's come out so far. Like it's so different.
Yeah.
The plot structure and like it moves so fast too. It's such a quick, fast movie.
Yeah. No, it needed another 20 minutes.
It did for sure. It needed more multiverse and more madness, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we didn't really get to see many multiverses compared, like the Multiverse of Madness. You'd imagine like 3 to 4. We only really got to see 2.
Yeah, and like I'm not though. A lot of people were like they wanted to see Deadpool in the movie, and they wanted to see like I don't know, Hulk, and maybe like Alex Trebek's ghost or like something in the movie. Like they wanted to see all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
like I was fine with the cameos that we got. I'm not mad about the cameos because I don't really care about fan service in films. In Star Wars, I kind of do. Like I'm always ready to see somebody that I've seen in the past. But like in Marvel, I've not read the comics, so like I don't really know a lot of the new characters that they introduce anyway until I've seen them in the films. You know, so like I'm not really caring about cameos that much. I just care about plot and dialogue and theme. I care about how good of a film it is.
Right, and I think we should come back to the cameos because I think that was obviously the moment of the movie. Um, it is quick. It, like we talked about, needs another 20 minutes. What I love most, and we talked about how this was the main worry, was did Disney allow Sam Raimi to make a Sam Raimi film? And they did.
Oh yeah.
They allowed Sam Raimi creative freedom, which is something that if he has, we've seen great movies come out of this man, and so I'm very pleased with what we got. I will say the ending was kind of lackluster, like a little bit. Like
It was
like
okay.
it,
I liked it. I
it.
did.
Oh yeah, it's not bad. I'm not trying to come across as saying it was a bad ending. It just it built up to do. It didn't drop, but it definitely stayed at the same level that it was on. Like it didn't drop or build up to the climax to anything. It just kind of, here's the end, and you're like, oh, like this isn't bad. I'm happy for this, but it's like I was kind of expecting something different. Um, yeah, I think those would be my two critiques. Is that it moves too quickly. Well, the pacing isn't like a big problem like in some other films. It needs a little bit more like padding on certain scenes to build up character. Um, but other than that, like the only other problem I would have is at the ending. I wish it was a little bit more extravagant, a little bit more meaningful.
Yeah, I don't know. The movie was just so different than what we normally get from Marvel. So I have a hard time talking about it in terms of a Marvel movie. Right?
Yeah. See, like I also don't want to
Um
spoil it. Like it's only been
yeah,
out 3 days.
there's so much that I could say without like but it would be so many spoilers.
What I'm saying, like I've multiple times we're just like approaching the 4 minute mark on this segment, and I I want to say so much more, but I won't because spoiler warnings, and I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like I'm not about to ruin someone who hasn't had the chance to see it on opening week.
You know, hot take here, I saw it in 3D. Don't watch a movie in 3D because it's not as good.
Oh,
I don't
I
like 3D movies.
guarantee. Yeah, I promise you're right.
Yeah, I'm that's the last 3D movie I'm gonna see because like it doesn't do it for me. I watch the movie and it doesn't seem like I'm watching a movie. You know,
Yeah,
doesn't feel like I can really understand the scope of the visuals and just the pure cinematic the features of the film if
yeah,
it's in 3D.
yeah,
It's kind of like when you put sunglasses on and you're like, man, I don't even know if I'm in real life right now. Like
yeah.
this is just it's kind of like that.
Yeah, no, I don't watch. I did say earlier, and I probably will do this, that I was gonna go see the next Avatar in 3D. But other than that, like I completely agree. 3D does kind of take away if it's not made for that.
Yeah. I loved Wanda in the movie.
Fantastic.
Wanda is the best Marvel character. Prove me wrong. She's the best one.
Yeah, I have a hard time separating myself from biases because my personally, after Iron Man, Doctor Strange is my favorite. So to say that Wanda's the best character, or it's hard for me to say that as yes because my favorite, but that's a personal bias.
Well, Iron Man aside, and maybe Strange
Or
aside,
say
because
that's
those
that's
are.
what I was saying. Like Doctor Strange and Iron Man are my two like all time favorite characters.
I mean, who else do I like? I love Thor. I do. Um, but then again, he's got two bad movies. Doctor Strange in No Way Home is really weird and like has like terrible lines, terrible dialogue in that movie. I don't know why they like made him like wholly incompetent in No Way Home.
Yeah.
Really, just out of character for Doctor Strange. You know, there's a lot that I could say about Strange that would be hard critique. You know, they power scale him really weird, and sometimes he's really powerful,
Oh,
and other
I
times he can't really do
know.
anything. And I'm like, why is there no consistency here? Because there
Yeah.
is consistency with a lot of the Marvel properties in the MCU. Like, you know exactly what Spider-Man can do, or Buggy, or the Falcon. Like, they do what they do, right? And they have that kind of level of like, these are like sort of intermediate. They're not as powerful as say Captain Marvel or Scarlet Witch or anyone else, but they're not, you know, it's not, I don't know.
No,
They're not.
you're completely right. If I have this feeling after every single Doctor Strange outing that he is like, not only is the power range really weird, but I also feel like he just gets absolutely demolished every time he stands in front of somebody.
He
But then,
does.
but then he'll for plot, you know, he has to hold off Thanos, and he'll do it with ease.
Right.
But
Right.
when the plot suits it that he shouldn't, he can't beat Thanos' henchman, but he can, you know, hold down
Yeah.
Thanos for 10 minutes. So
Or just like in WandaVision, Wanda did more damage to Thanos than anyone did, right?
yeah,
And then she can't fight off Agatha Harkness in
like
Westview.
I don't get it. Like, and so if you're looking and hoping that Doctor Strange is just powerful like you think he'd be, and you know maybe he would actually start winning some fights, and no, that does not happen in this movie. I'm sorry.
Doctor Strange really isn't that powerful, is he at all?
Not in the
Like,
MCU, no.
not in the MCU. You think like, man, at least give us one like scene, one gratifying scene where Doctor Strange just unleashes the full capabilities of his power.
He never does.
Yeah, it never does. I think the only reason you go up to Comertage, the only reason they're treating him any different is because he's a white dude.
Yeah, it's so frustrating because they all the time like in the MCU are like, oh, Doctor Strange is so powerful, he's the Sorcerer Supreme. Now he's not the
He's
Sorcerer
not
Supreme.
even. Yeah, Wong is
Yeah.
more powerful in the movie than Doctor Strange is.
Yeah, like you can't have the sidekick be stronger than the lead. Like,
Yeah, I mean, but listen, Wong, Marvel movies are. This is the Wong verse. We have entered the Wong verse, and I'm ready for Benedict Wong to. That's so funny. His name is Benedict Wong because
his name,
his
yeah.
name is Wong in the movies.
Gotta be
And
easy for when you're like acting in the movie.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And his co-star's name Benedict.
Yeah.
It's such so strange, but listen, I loved Wong in Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say that Shang-Chi was a much better movie than Multiverse of Madness.
I hate to agree with you, but I am.
Dude, Shang-Chi honestly is top 5 Marvel for me. Like I really
Shang-Chi
like
was
it.
so much fun. And here's the thing. You felt that character was powerful.
He was
Like
powerful.
when he figured it out and when he got the rings and he was using it, you felt that character was strong. You do not get that with Doctor Strange.
You think Shang-Chi would be in this movie.
You
You
really
think Wong,
would.
like him and Wong are buddies. You think Wong would come up and be like, there's a disturbance at Comertage.
Yeah.
We need your help, Shang-Chi.
I would love to see that. Joe, Shang-Chi versus Wanda.
Yeah, I'm ready to see that, man. I'm ready for like Shang-Chi to be a big part of the MCU.
Yeah, like I just want to like, you know what they need to come out with? An MCU style like Mortal Kombat game
Oh, that'd be so much
or a
fun.
Mortal Kombat style MCU game.
Yeah.
They've
that'd
already
be so
done that
much
with
fun.
like Justice League.
Yeah, Injustice.
Exactly.
They could call it in Marvel. I don't know.
It could literally anything. Just make it happen.
Yeah, I'm ready to. I'd play the heck out of that.
Oh, same.
Hey, have you played Lego Star Wars yet?
So I played the original years ago, but no, I haven't had the chance to play the new one, the
Oh,
Skywalker
I'm so
saga.
excited. I'm so excited to play it. One of these days, I'm just gonna run down to GameStop and get the disc.
Yeah,
I like having games on disc.
there's something like primal about having it like physically.
Yeah, I want to have it. Like I want to own my game.
Yeah. So I don't know what else to say other than getting to rankings. I mean ratings. I will say
Well,
it's a beautiful
sorry.
film. No, it's okay. It's the cinematography is pretty good. I will say And this is gonna be a critique with me every time that a film relies so heavily on CGI. Sometimes the CGI didn't look that good.
It really didn't, did it?
No, like there were times where characters would go flying after getting hit, or certain aspects of movement would be really odd looking.
Yeah, it. The movie seemed to have been lacking something. There's something essential that it was missing because I feel like it didn't really have the personality that a lot of these movies have.
No, like, but here's the thing though. I know we talked a lot of negativity about it. It's a good movie.
It's scary too, I think.
Yeah, no, it's gory, it's kind of spooky. Sam Raimi does what Sam Raimi does. It is a good film, and like
It is good.
I want to see more Sam Raimi Doctor Strange. I do. Like I want him to
Like
return.
this movie is not a flop by any means.
No, it's got problems.
It does have problems. I haven't been able quite yet. I'd have to see it a second time to pinpoint exactly what the problems are. I loved America Chavez. I loved Wong. I loved Wanda. The characters are not the problem. Like, don't think that we're saying that the characters are the
No,
problem.
the acting
The
was phenomenal.
the pacing was so fast though.
Okay, so what let's do this real quick. Let's think about we're pinpointing things that we liked. So let's go through and do that. So acting was one.
Yes.
Acting was by far phenomenal.
Visuals.
Visuals was great. I would say
Plot structure was amazing.
yes. See like there were certain shots that you saw and you were like, that is a Sam Raimi shot. Like that looks like a Sam Raimi movie. So we got plot structure was good, visuals were good. I would say cinematography goes with visuals. Acting. So we've got like 3 or 4 things. What else is there?
I don't know.
I
I
really
really don't.
I feel like yes, I think that the plot structure was in place. I felt like the writing at times was lacking.
That's what it was. The writing was just it seemed like there were so many maybe. I don't know what it was like in the production of this movie, but it seemed like there were conflicting narratives or conflicting views as to how this movie should go.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
like if the ending, like I said, if the ending was more satisfactory. Cause God, there's one thing I want to say, but I can't. I can't say it because it would spoil it.
Yeah, there's a lot we can't say
Yeah,
while we're talking about this.
This is how I put it. Some characters, and I won't say if it's one or more, but some characters needed an extra few minutes to show them develop.
Right.
And that's how I'll put it. I won't say who, I won't say what, I won't say how many of these people, because it could be more than one, it could be one, it could be none. I could be making this up.
Could
But
be a group of people.
it could be. But yeah, and the cameos, and this is, I think, did we already say this? I feel like we have. We might be just going in a circle now. Or maybe we talked about this before the recording. The cameos, it wasn't what. No, you said this at the beginning. It wasn't like this huge like you said Hulk would show up, and you said all this. It wasn't that.
Yeah, people were saying that Tom Cruise would be playing Tony Stark in this movie.
Yeah, like it's not that. But
Who came up with that?
What we get is really good.
And they're some of the most beloved characters that have not made their way into the MCU. They show up.
Yeah. So yeah, no. If you're hyped for this movie, stay hyped because it's for good reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The
And
cameos
like
are worth it.
you're gonna be. It's a wild ride for sure.
Yeah. No. And I promise you, like there will be a second where it starts and you're getting into the first 30 seconds and you're thinking, did they start playing it at the wrong part?
Right.
It
Oh yeah.
starts so quick.
Oh, it just goes hard. It
Yeah.
goes hard from the paint, man.
So,
So something though. No, I don't have anything to say.
no, I know spoilers, right? Like,
Yeah,
Avoid-
I was
yeah.
gonna say like
so what's our take here? Don't blink. Appreciate it for what it is, and it's not perfect.
no, but it's definitely an enjoyable viewing
It's
experience.
fun. It is fun. It doesn't beat
It
the
is
first by any means, but it is fun.
No, but it's good. Doctor Strange, all the characters in the film are gonna go on to be in some great movies. Like this is not the end of any of these characters at all. Even some of the cameos, this is not the end of them.
Right.
I'm gonna give this movie. I'm gonna say placing it like in the MCU within the greater MCU, it falls like right in the middle, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's how many movies are there now?
There's like 117. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a good like between 11 and 14 is probably right where we're aiming, like in the
Yeah,
middle.
what are there? They're about 30 now or
I would
something.
say around 30, maybe not quite 30, but around there.
28 maybe. Yeah. I don't know though. I don't know. Most of the MCU movies are pretty good, like really good, and like I think this is like maybe around like number like 7 or 8 for me. Like I enjoyed it, but I enjoy all the movies,
That's what's
and
tough,
there are only a
man.
few that are bad, right? And I think this is like on the lower end of the middle.
See, well, here's the other thing too is that like I actually would like I want to keep it where we had it originally, but I'm also not opposed to moving it up a slight bit just because it's so unique.
Oh yeah, well it's so unique. It's not formulaic at all.
No,
It's brand new. It is a brand
yeah,
new movie.
which I applaud to Marvel because that
I
like
do.
great job,
They've worked themselves out of the funk with Moon Knight and
great
with
job.
Multiverse.
Great job. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it where we said between I'll say 10 and 14 instead of 11 and 14. 10 and
It's
14.
it's better than Black Widow.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like for
So much better.
sure. Black Widow was awful.
I didn't really care for Black Widow. Yeah.
Like I was so hyped for that movie. I was like, finally, the like Black Widow gets her own movie, and it wasn't good.
Hey Ryan, you want to hear something, man?
I do.
I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp more than Multiverse of Madness.
Wow. I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp was good, but I don't know if I'd say that.
I love both Ant-Man movies.
Ant-
Like I just
Paul Rudd's is a stud.
yeah, he is a beautiful man, but like I just think that like the Ant-Man movies are some of my favorite of the MCU. Maybe like top like 7 or 8 in terms of like favorite.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Ant-Man's good. I don't think Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you said the original was better than than Doctor Strange 2, I'd say yeah. But I don't know if the Wasp was better.
I'm not gonna say better.
It's
I'm gonna say
good.
I liked it more.
Oh yeah, and that's completely.
Oh, you want to know the one that I don't really like at all?
Which one?
Dude, I just don't really like Winter Soldier.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not really for me.
Now that's a take. You should have saved that for your opinions.
Okay, I will. Well, listen, I'll spend all week and I'll rewatch it, who knows, but I'll formulate this whole opinion on why I don't think Winter Soldier is as good as people say it is.
All right. I mean, hey, a little teaser here. First take on next week's show.
Is going to be that Winter Soldier is not top 3.
Wow.
People say it's number 1.
Wow.
I don't know why. It's one of the hat Marvel movies. They say there's 2 types. There's like wizard Marvel movies and there's hat Marvel movies where it's just like people in sunglasses. It's usually Chris Evans, Captain America. He's got a hat on and they're kind of just being all spooky. You're not spooky, but mysterious. Like it's kind of like a noir thing. I don't really care for the hat movies. I don't really like the Captain America movies, man. I like Civil War.
I still think Civil War was great, but that wasn't really a Captain America movie.
Not at all. Civil War is probably my favorite Marvel movie, I'd say.
Civil War is the most Avengers movie that wasn't named Avengers.
Yeah, it's more of an Avengers movie than the Avengers movies are.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, we'll save the rest of this for next week because this is going to be great discussion.
Oh yeah.
It's time to rate Madness. Ah man, I think we're gonna rate it out of what are those things that they create portals with?
Sling rings.
Sling rings, thank you. Out of 10 sling rings, I'm gonna say that Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness for me is at about, I think a 7 is the number I'm gonna go.
Ryan, man, maybe I've upplayed my opinions about this movie, but I'm gonna give it a 5.
Oh wow.
I give it a 5, bro. Like it's just not that good. It's okay. Like it's pretty good, but it's not that good. It's like middle of the road in terms of movies that I've seen. It's just right in the middle.
So we're going.
5.
So the official rating is a 6 out of 10 sling rings.
Yeah, we thought Multiverse was just lacking something.
It definitely does. Yeah, I think that's fair. I do. I think a 6 or a 7 is probably where it should be. A 5 is suitable too.
Yeah.
Like that's a good rating for this type of movie. It's just especially because it's so hard to rank in the MCU.
Yeah, most of them I like. So this was one of the rare ones that I just wasn't really big on. Wasn't a huge fan.
And I think you made the best comment about this too. Is it needs a second watch?
It does. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I saw it in 3D in the movie theater. I was tired.
Yeah.
I just wasn't really all. I don't know. I would like to watch it like in the middle of the day one time, and just like sit down maybe with a notebook and just like take notes on what I find.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. I think that's been the show.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you, brother.
That's the
I
show.
think this is the end of the show.
Yeah. Jinx.
Just y'all
comments.
be safe out there. Comment on our video. If you find yourself in a car crash, do not at all, by all means, do not get turned on. Is what I'm gonna say.
Keep it in the pants, fellas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe take a cold shower or
Yeah.
chew on a piece of ice.
Do something. Just don't get aroused by a car crash.
Don't.
Don't do it.
Also, if you find yourself traveling through the multiverse of madness and there's a woman with a strange red aura glowing from her hands, run the other way because she will mess you up.
Yeah, and if you see a platypus, a teal platypus in particular, make sure that there's no fedoras in any vicinity.
No, yeah, make sure you're not in like a hat store or anything.
Yeah, or don't wear a white trench coat.
Or
Black
yeah, like
coat.
a very thin and shrill German man.
Yeah.
If you ever meet one of those guys,
Walk away.
yeah, just exit.
There is a teal platypus looking for him.
Should we start a Phineas and Ferb podcast?
Dude, I will happily lead the Phineas and Ferb fan club.
Man, listen, I was watching some Phineas and Ferb just a couple weeks ago on Disney Plus. It's funny.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny. It's funny to adults.
It's so
funny
funny.
to children. It's hilarious.
It's a great show.
It's so good.
Go watch Phineas and Ferb.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, that's what we're gonna end it on. Phineas and Ferb is one of the greatest animated series of all time.
Facts. All right. We'll see you guys.
See you guys.